Luis Nazario de Lima, or as we all know him, Ronaldo, the phenomenon that was and is R9. Ronaldo's World Cup story begins in 1994 when he was just 17. Look at that kid. Oh. Sadly, his wasn't put to much use. He didn't play a single minute, but he was part of the squad that lifted the trophy in the USA. Fast forward to France, 98, and everything has changed. Ronaldo is now the best player in the world, a Ballon d'Or winner, and Brazil's main man. He scores 4 goals in the tournament and carries them to the final. Then comes one of the most infamous days in World Cup history. Hours before kickoff, Ronaldo suffers a convulsive fit, but doctors find nothing out of the ordinary. He insists on playing, but he's clearly not himself. Brazil lose 3-0. To this day, we still don't know what happened, and neither does he. Had the football gods begun to turn against him? Just look at the effect 2 major knee injuries had on his career. 53 appearances in 4 years. But then came 2002, and one of the greatest comebacks in football. By the time Brazil had reached the semis, he'd scored 5 in 5, but he was fed up with injuries being the main talking point. So while ritualistically shaving his head before the semi with Turkey, he left the front to create a talking point, and maybe the most iconic World Cup trim was born. He scored against Turkey and then got 2 in the final to help Brazil to win a 5th World Cup, secure the Golden Boot, and later on another Ballon d'Or. Now, by Germany in 2006, a 29-year-old Ronaldo was no longer the explosive phenomenon of his youth, the scars of his past there for all to see. But he still scored 3 and became, at the time, the tournament's all-time top scorer. In total, Ronaldo played in 4 World Cups, scored 15 goals, reached 3 finals, and lifted the trophy twice. That is legendary stuff.
Hey, very good afternoon. This is the World Cup Weekender. We are live on talkSPORT. It's Sam Ellard and the former Scotland and Liverpool midfielder Charlie Adam. We're with you until 4, bringing you everything you need to know from the Football World Cup. We're 13 hours away from Scotland kicking off their World Cup campaign. Shabana Hearn joining us shortly. We've got the latest from the England camp. England legend Stuart Pearce will join us to get into the big selection decisions facing Thomas Tuchel. Plus, we are reuniting Charlie with one of his favourite managers. They achieved great things together. Ian Holloway, the great Ian Holloway, joins the show live. Plus, we'll take a little look back at Charlie's career too, pick out some of the best moments. It is the World Cup Weekender, and we are live on talkSPORT. I am delighted to say I am alongside the former Liverpool, Scotland, Blackpool midfielder Charlie Adam. Good afternoon, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been good.
Is it your 3rd talkSPORT show in a row, 3 days in a row? How are you? How are you feeling? Are they easing you in nicely?
Yeah, they've eased me in. To be fair, I'm in better better conditioning than Gabby's done 5 early morning.
Yeah,
so I seen him. On Thursday and
6 o'clock starts for Gabby. So you did breakfast on.
So I done drive on Thursday.
Okay, that was good fun. Carl Walker was
Kyle and Jason and Bente. Then I done an hour with Cundy and Gabby yesterday, and then I'm on here today with you.
Good. So it's been we've got the. I was hoping for some sort of money kind of. That's the main. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's been a good couple of days for Charlie Adam.
Yeah, that's a great experience. It's something I enjoy. Really good getting on the radio, talking hopefully people listening take a little bit from what I'm talking about. But we're here now talking about World Cup, and it's just brilliant that we're here. And now Scotland obviously are there. It makes a huge difference to where we are as a nation.
And obviously it's been a few years now since you retired from playing, and we'll talk a bit more detail later on the show about your playing career. I've got lots of questions to ask you about Blackpool, but even there you had at Liverpool, and obviously you've had some coaching experiencing, some managerial experiencing over the last couple of years, but a bit of time out of the game at the moment. Have you enjoyed that? Or
No, I'm still in the game. I'm still in the game. I've gone back in when I left Everton at the back end of last season. I got the opportunity to go back into Burnley with the 21s, sort of role between 21s, loans, high potential players, linked with the first team. So again, it was just dealing with the first team in terms of training who they needed on a daily basis, getting a good relationship with Scott and their staff there.
You did that under Vincent Company when
similar as well. Right? So again, gaining experience for me as a young coach and developing and growing, I always think that the opportunities are vital. I've been retired 4 years now, and my experiences are Vincent Company, David Moyes, and Scott Parker. As a young coach, being able to grasp that their experiences, their knowledge of the game, I'm hoping that, and it will do, and it'll make me a better coach and a manager as the years go by.
Yeah, and this current role, are you enjoying it at the moment?
Yeah, I love it. It's a great role. Again, I've got a bit of freedom and flexibility in terms of what it is and where I am. We just recently won the Premier League Cup against Sunderland with the under-21s. Brilliant for the boys. It's a big challenge in terms of when you go to category 1. But we're a club that, let's say Burnley at the moment, getting relegated from the Premier League. It's a club that's trying to improve all the time. The ownership and people around it. Unfortunately, Scott lost his job at the back end of the season. But now they're looking for a new manager, and I'm excited to see who actually comes in because, it's another new manager, another new ideas, fresh ideas, and we'll see where it goes. But that small period I had with Scott, I even learned a lot from him as a person.
Is he a coach you rate really highly?
Yeah, I think he's very, very good. I think he's a top level coach, and it's difficult, and people's supporters will find that. But the results of the Premier League are tough, and you have to understand where the dynamics of the club is and what it is and what you're competing against. But on a day-to-day basis, if I was a player nowadays, and I've been very fortunate enough to sit and listening to his meetings, I'd want to play for the guy.
Yeah, I thought with Burnley last season, I mean, if you looked at the team on paper, I possibly would have said maybe it was one of the weaker teams in the Premier League on paper. But I remember doing a watch-along show on YouTube throughout the season. I feel like I remember watching lots of Burnley games. Remember the Luton team a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Who always felt like they were in games. They were playing well. They were doing well, but either couldn't take their chances, concede a silly goal, and next thing you know, a game they're well and truly in, they're 2 or 3 behind. I felt like that was Burnley last season, playing well in lots of games, but just always seemed to find ways to lose games.
You've hit the nail on the head, Sam, and again, just being around the first team, you get to hear what they're thinking from the weekend and what you say. But the Premier League is just a ruthless animal. One moment can take the whole game, and the game goes away from you quickly. But I thought, like say, Burnley at times were in the game, and you've got to find different ways of staying in games and understanding what you are as a football club and what squad you've got available to you. I didn't think they got battered in any of the games. They were always in the game, but lack of concentration, defending, set play, counter-attack. But the game goes away from you quickly, and you end up maybe losing 2 or 3 goals quickly, and then all of a sudden it looks a score, and you think, oh, it's been a poor day, but actually you've done some good things in the game.
So post-playing, it was that role at Burnley first time around.
Yeah.
You've had a managerial job yourself, haven't you? Obviously at Fleetwood in 2023.
Yeah.
The Everton, where you were there for a few months under David Moyes, then back to Burnley. Is getting back into management something you'd like to do in the future?
Yeah, that's my dream. That's what I want to do. I want to become a manager again. I want to be given that opportunity to lead. Leadership is something that I've just finished the pro license with the Scottish FA 2 weeks ago. I want to get back in, but again, you have to wait for your opportunity and your turn. But ultimately, during the moments when you've got to learn, you've got to listen, and you've got to take on board what people around you that have got more experience. And again, that's what I keep talking about. I want to try and speak to a lot more coaches that have coached longer than me, because I've only coached for 4 years, but I've had some good experiences so far. Okay, I've had a 20 years playing career, but that gives you so much. It doesn't give you everything. It gives you an opportunity and it gives you an understanding of the game, but you need to learn from these guys that have been coaching for 20 years and that. And just, we're going to talk to the gaffer soon. They're the people you need to learn from, the experiences they've had. And I was like I said, David Moyes been in the game a long, long time.
It must have been great for you.
Amazing, because, his brother looked after me as a player, as an agent for a long, long time. So I've had that relationship and been able to, but always had that opportunity to pick the phone up if ever needed.
Yeah.
My relationship became a little bit stronger when both of us were out of job. He'd come out of West Ham and I was out of Fleetwood, and we'd meet up for a coffee now and then just to chat. And then I think that's how the role sort of developed and grew and growing and going in there as the set play coach. And that gave me a different dynamics. Now as another coach coming back into the game, set plays are massive, and we've seen that with Arsenal over the season. Teams conceding set plays.
Have you had a good bonus in your contract?
Nah,
like Nicholas Jover's
yeah,
got?
it's brilliant.
Well,
But
there's no Charlie Adam Memorial outside Goodison Park, so I'm not sure what's happened there, Charlie.
Yeah, but
Nicholas Jover gets one and you don't.
But again, he won the title after that. But I think they're
Everton stayed up though when you guys came
just
in.
these small thing, they become big details, and you learn all the time. Every time you get an opportunity to speak to somebody with vast experience, I think it's an opportunity to learn and grow and take things from people.
One more on your career. When you went in at Fleetwood
Yeah.
and was in the big chair, if you like, the hot seat.
Yeah.
How did you find that? Because it was, from playing to going to Burnley and then into the managerial role. Did you maybe feel as if it was a little bit too early for you, or did you feel like you were ready at that point?
I was never ready, but I was very fortunate I was given that chance with the football club. I live local. It helped that I had new people around the football club. I knew Steve Curwood. I knew the owner at the time.
Sure.
One of my best mates was club secretary there at the time. So my relationship with the football club was there. My son now is in the academy there at under 9. So I've had that relationship with the football club for a long time. A couple of times they wanted me to try and sign as a player when I was coming to the end. But for anybody, a brilliant football club with great people. And let's say, I felt that we were just unlucky in terms of with injuries and moments. We felt that we were building a team that was capable of getting there, but big key players got injured at the wrong time for me,
Sure.
and that happens. Results. Can I learn from that? Absolutely. I learned a lot from that, and my experiences, what I could have done, what I've come out of it and took it and thought, right, well, I should have done that, I've not done that. And I think that's part of developing and growing. And I wish them all the best now, because I've still got a keen eye. Like I said, my son's in the academy, so I'm there quite regular. And Matt Lawler now's the coach who was in under 21s when I was there, and I hope he does well. But football's difficult, and you need to get your recruitment right. So hopefully they give him a few quid to spend. I don't think the owner will be happy about that, but I think they'll be okay. They're a good club, great facility. We've very, very good people running
He
it.
should start driving his car now, thinking, what on earth is Charlie Adam doing? That's saying on the radio for good.
I'll be getting a message from my mate in a minute saying, by the way, we're cutting back when you're trying to get him to spend money. But it's again the affinity with the football club to give that opportunity to become a manager. It's very difficult. We've got 50 games there as a manager, and that's the dream again, to go again when that right time comes.
Well, you're not in at the moment, but you're here in the talkSPORT studio,
Brilliant.
and you're here with us.
Delighted to be here.
Over the next couple of weeks at talkSPORT. It is the World Cup weekender. Sam Ellard and Charlie Adam were with you until 4 o'clock. Of course, World Cup very much underway in the early hours of this morning. USA beating Paraguay. Canada also playing Bosnia as well. Late yesterday evening, that game finished 1-1, of course, on the opening evening of the World Cup. We saw Mexico at their home stadium beating South Africa by 2-0. And then in the early hours of Friday morning, South Korea winning their opening game 2-1. Charlie, so far, very, very early stages. Have you been enjoying the World Cup?
No, I think it's been good. I think it's always interesting to see how the World Cup is going to look. And I thought the start of it, the show was amazing. And I look at it.
You a Shakira fan?
I'm not a big Shakira fan, no. But
how can you not like Shakira?
Yeah, but just maybe back in the day.
Oh, okay.
But,
okay. What now is it 2026, Charlie Adam? If you're picking an opening ceremony of a World Cup, who are you going for then?
If it was me, it'd be somebody like a Lewis Capaldi or like that. I've got a genre of all type of music, 80s to...
But not Shakira. Oh, everyone apart from Shakira.
Yeah, well, no, I could be Susan Boyle, I could be Ed Sheeran, I could be Lewis Capaldi.
Big up Susan Boyle.
I'm everything. I'm a bit of everything.
I did not think 15 minutes into the show Susan Boyle was going to...
Yeah, I'm a bit of R&B, and that's not for me.
Yeah.
But I just like that 80s sort of stuff. But yeah, Capaldi at the moment for me. And
you mates with him?
No, I don't really know him.
But if Capaldi was doing a big concert tomorrow in Scotland,
I'll be there.
You could drop a text and get a ticket, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think I could.
Oh, unbelievable.
Not to him, but somebody close.
Yeah, close. We're talking Scotland, other side of the break. But in terms of kick-off time, and obviously you being here in London, the studio with us, is it power nap before, or are you just gonna power straight?
No,
through?
I won't be able to power through it. I'll
power nap.
I'll have a power nap. I've got to train back as well, so I can maybe get a couple hours on that, and then I'll try.
I don't like sleeping on public transport.
No, why?
I don't know. I just don't like sleeping on. I don't think I've ever slept on a train or a bus before.
No, I could sleep anywhere. That's the thing for me. I'm okay with that. But no, I think I'll have a nap and I'll get up early enough to watch the game because, let's say, first game at the World Cup.
You've waited a few years, haven't you?
We've waited. Yeah, I had hair when we were there last year.
And that was a long time ago, wasn't
Exactly
it?
that.
You're listening to the World Cup Weekender with myself, Sam Ellard, and the former Scotland midfielder Charlie Adam. We are live on talkSPORT. Up next, we are getting stuck into all things Scotland.
I think you've got a couple of positions that Rashford, Gordon, the centre halves. I know Peter.
Saka one on the. How fit is Saka?
Yeah, how fit is B? I think you look at it. Morgan Rogers. The big one is Morgan Rogers and Jude Bellingham. Who's going to start? Who's not going to start? Can you fit them both into?
Who's starting?
No, Benny, come on. For me, Morgan's had a fantastic couple of years at Aston Villa. A fantastic couple of years. And to see what he's done for Man City when I played with him when he was coming up through the youth team to then go and do what he's done now, it's not shocked me, but it's a great step in the right direction to where he wants to be. But I think Jude's done it for season in, season out. Obviously, he's had a little bit of an injury season, we're going to say, but Jude's quality is still there.
Let me ask you then, Charlie, because you've been an outside perspective, because all the fans, obviously English fans, are going to say, we're going to win it. And after last night, we're definitely going to win it. After what you saw last night, I know you're going to say England are one of the favourites, but can you see England winning it, or do you still think there are other nations out there that look better?
No, I do think there is other nations that have got a real good chance. I think I look at the Netherlands and I think they're probably a little bit of an outsider. But looking at the odds today, it's Brazil are probably, and Argentina, two South Americans. You'd expect a South American team to go there. I think it's a shootout for me between France and England. That's what I believe. I think that England have got a brilliant chance. Thomas has made the decision to go and leave these players, Foden, Palmer out, and he's made that decision. And I thought England were really good last night. I thought they'd go and let's say, for me, Stones plays because he can control the game for you in the heat. He's very good with the ball. Mark Gahey, very good with the ball. I just thought that partnership could really dovetail really well for England. And I think, and I've said it last Scotland tournament, I think England are really, really strong and they've got a good opportunity of winning this. As a Scotsman, would I like to see it? Absolutely not. but for my son, I say it all the time, for my son who was born in England, I would love to see for him the opportunity of England winning a major tournament.
A very good afternoon. It is the World Cup Weekender. Sam Ellard, Charlie Adam. We are live on talkSPORT until 4. Now, the last time Scotland featured at the World Cup was in 1998. They almost snatched a draw in the opening game against Brazil, but ultimately fell short. They've made 8 World Cups, but have never progressed from the group stage and never won more than a single game. Surely reaching the knockout rounds has to be the aim this time around. There was the poor showings the last 2 European Championships, 2 points from 6 games, scoring only 3 goals. Stevie Clarke, the first man to take the country to 3 major tournaments, and after ending a 28-year wait for a World Cup appearance, he has forged a belief and togetherness that has been missing from the Tartan Army for years. So in the early hours of tomorrow morning, 2 o'clock start UK time, they take on Haiti in the World Cup. Now, Scotland boss Steve Clarke, he spoke to the world's media yesterday, including talkSPORT Shabana Hearn, and was asked whether Scott McTominay in his team is a world-class asset.
I think I've got 26 superstars here. I think to try and put so much onto one person's not fair. We've built everything we've done over the last 7 years on the squad, the team, everybody being together, everybody playing their part at certain times. Some daft coach put him as a centre-half 5 years ago, but obviously he's not a centre-half. Since he moved further forward, he's done great for us. So now we're delighted with Scott's abilities and what he can bring to the team, but we're going to need another 15 that bring the same if we want to have a positive tournament.
Charlie, you obviously played for Scotland many times over an 8-year period. Being away from the team, and obviously away from the team now for a few years, kind of working in the media, and you're seeing the players out in America, you're listening to the players out in America. How do you kind of feel as a former player watching your fellow countrymen be in this position?
I'm proud Scotsman to watch these boys now develop and grow, and how they've navigated their way through the sort of 3 tournaments, 2 Euros, and now to the World Cup. It's we'd had a poor Euros the last couple, and this feels like there's a more energy to what we're looking for. I feel the group's in a better place. The coaches experience what it is to be a tournament. The players have experienced the tournaments, and I just think we're in a really good place as a nation. And it's now about we could talk, and we've had that build up. Now time to talk and do it on the pitch, and I hope that the boys can go there and show real level of consistency, and show the quality that they have shown over the years, because this is a special group. There's no doubt about it. They've managed to do some amazing things with an amazing coach that's got them there, and there feels a good camaraderie within the group in the camp, and now it's time to go against Haiti and show what they're capable of.
The star of the team is Scott McTominay, who obviously was at Man United for many, many years, gone over to Italy, and I don't know, he's kind of reinvented himself as a player. I mean, he's a superstar over there. His numbers, his form, what he's achieved over in Italy has been quite remarkable. I mean, I'll ask you there, is Scott McTominay based on current form? I mean, he's operating at a seriously high level, isn't he?
Yeah, he's seriously at a top level. And again, everybody will debate and talk about that world-class word. World-class for me is Ronaldo's, Messi's. That's the world-class Kevin De Bruyne, people like that, Bernardo Silva.
I was really hoping you were going to say Ronaldo, Messi's, and Scott McTominay's off the spot.
But that's
in there.
That's world-class for
that's
me.
The top elite
that's
level.
The elite level for me. To leave Manchester United, to then reinvent himself of what he is as a midfielder, and the numbers and the goals that he's starting to score has been incredible. And again, sometimes you have to come away from that sort of Manchester United, the big club in England. The pressure's on. He goes to Italy. Napoli's a very big club in Italy, and some
pressure there as well.
A lot of pressure there, but he's handled that, and he's gained the experiences of being at Manchester United. The experience he's had has been a young lad coming through, because that's what normally happens. Younger players that are coming through, they normally get the bit of the stick, and that's what happened to him. He got a tough time at Manchester United, and then he goes to Napoli, and he's done unbelievable, and he's done an amazing job for Scotland. And in the near future, we probably see him back in the Premier League at some point. But no, he's done a remarkable job, like many others, McGinn, Robertson. They've done an unbelievable job in that Scotland team to get them to these tournaments.
In terms of the team tonight, what are the big kind of question marks that Steve Clarke's got to, is it whether he goes 2 up front, Adams and Shanklin, or just one? Is that sort of one of the big decisions he's got to make for this evening?
Well, again, then what happens is, if you do that, then you're going to leave out a sort of a big name, I think. Then it depends on what way Steve wants to go. If he goes 4-4-2, you'll go with Adams and Shanklin, but I'd expect him to maybe go with 4-2-3-1. I said it yesterday on the radio. I think I would go with Craig Gordon in goals for his experience and his ability that he's got. Aaron Hickey at right back. There's doubts over McKenna, Scott McKenna. I'm here, and I think he's got a bit of an injury. So that looks like that maybe Jack Henry will come in.
Sure.
And he will play again alongside Suter, and Robertson at left back. Then I would look to play 2 in midfield. That 2 holding position would probably be a Ryan Christie possibly, and then maybe Lewis Ferguson. I think Lewis Ferguson, who captain of Bologna, has done brilliant. Really like him. I think he's grown into a very, very good player. On the right, Gannon Doak, who again looks sharp in the friendlies. McTominay's the 10, where you could just step him on. If you're going to press 4-4-2, you could step him on and go with Shankland as the 2 at the top end of the pitch, and McGinn off that left hand side. So that's the team I would look to play. But again, I'm not a manager, and the pressure's on Steve and his staff now to pick the right team, and hopefully they do.
I saw Gabby respond to this yesterday on the breakfast show. I think Roy Keane was talking about John McGinn, and he said something along the lines of, when he's not on it, what did he call him? Say he's a bit of a pub player. Was that the phrase that he used, or something like that? And that almost felt a little bit of an unnecessary.
No, I think it was a cheap dig. If you have to look at what's John McGinn's career and how it's growing and developed, and I think he's been a wonderful player to go from, to St Mirren to Hibs to then going to Aston Villa, to grow there into being a captain, to win a European trophy. With the amount of top players that they have, he's the leader. And Stephen, obviously, I think Stephen that brought him to Aston Villa. He's grown as a player. You're not a pub player if you're playing in the Premier League week in, week out.
Well, just lifted the European trophy.
And you're captain in Aston Villa. So I think it was a bit of a.
And also, I'm not being funny. If you really wanted to, you could go through every single player and say when they're not on it, they don't look.
Yeah, of course. And
you could apply that logic to anyone who's not informed in the Premier League.
And again, what you have to do depends on what you're in the team for. So McGinn's definitely in the team to go and press, be aggressive. He backs in really well.
Nobody backs him better than John McGinn. Have you ever felt the John McGinn backside before?
I don't think so. Well, I've got a big backside myself.
Not like John McGinn.
No. I'm macho, I'm telling you. Probably not as strong, but it's big enough.
Maybe John McGinn used it better than you in your career.
Possibly.
Or are you putting yourself in the top 3 best backside used in Premier League history?
He's probably the top.
But when you watch him, it's like the opposition fullback must know what he's trying to do. But you can't
but it's so
stop
hard
it.
to get around him.
It's like when Iron Robin used to cut on that left or from that right hand side. You know what's happening.
But what happens is
same in the McGinn backside.
When he plants and he's secure, his thighs, his hamstrings, and that he's strong and powerful.
Yes.
And he just growing into being a top player in the Premier League. And I think it's great. And he's been key to Scotland. He went for a period for Scotland scoring a lot of goals, and now his roles are different. I like to see him on that right hand side, but now you've got Gannon Doak, who's got terrific pace.
Because he's been at Bournemouth, hasn't he, in the last? He hasn't played too much at Bournemouth.
So he's just coming back from he had played against Denmark, and he pulled his hamstring after about 20 minutes, and he's just coming back from that surgery. So they've sort of eased him in a little bit. And again, he's another player that left Celtic to come to Liverpool. Got some moments.
Never really got
the opportunity. But hearing around the camp and what it is, he's a confident lad. He backs himself, which is great. So it'll be interesting to see again tonight in the morning. We're looking at Haiti. We expect to have a lot of the ball.
Sure.
So,
and is that almost going to be a challenge for Scotland?
So for me, that's a challenge because we're on the counter attack. So they'll be low block. So is there going to be space for Gannon Doak to play in behind?
Yeah,
so then does that mean that we end up playing then somebody again? Do we play a Finlay Curtis off the other side and then maybe play John McGinn off that side? Because there might not be any space for Gannon Doak to run in behind. So a lot of things going into it. Steve and the staff will have watched a lot of games of what they're capable of. This is not going to be an easy game. We are 42nd in the world FIFA ranking, and they're 83. So there is a bit of a gap, but it's not easy. And there'll be no easy game, but we have to try and do well with the ball if we can, and really risk it. Don't keep keeping the ball for the sake of it. We need to risk the ball and make things happen.
You're not going out there?
No, unfortunately, can't get a visa.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, no, that's not good.
No, it's a huge disappointment.
Yeah,
I was meant to be there for a period of time with talkSPORT, but that's why you've got the pleasure of meeting.
Well, I was going to say not ideal, but then every cloud right. I mean, would you rather be over there in America?
I'll ask you at 4:05.
Or would you rather be with me on the World Cup weekender? With the World Cup underway, talkSPORT in the meantime have teamed up to create a lager. It's called So Good Lager, which will be poured from some of the best sports pubs across the UK. You can find your nearest pub by visiting talksport.com/so good. It is 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. And again, a reminder, that game, Haiti versus Scotland, in the early hours of tomorrow morning, is a 2:00 kickoff, presented by Natalie Sawyer. Commentary from Joe Shennon and the former Scotland assistant coach, Mark McGee.
think when you look at Bellingham, especially like the last game, you know, he started the game and within the first 10 seconds, he had pressed the ball and he went out for a throw-in, and that sets a tempo, doesn't it? But something about him, Neil, I'm with you. It's like he knows that this country should be winning World Cups, and he's got that bite about him when I watch him play.
It's just the arrogance. I love the arrogance. I must tell you, when he was at Birmingham, I remember playing against him. I think he was 16 years. I had a good, tough lad in midfield, and I said, "Listen, you're playing against a kid tonight. Just sort him out. Just, you know, normal thing. Get stuck in, and he'll not want to know." And he actually ran the game, and I was watching him. I was thinking, bloody, I've never seen anybody like this at that age.
No,
you know, he's amazing, he was.
You need the character. See, people sometimes, in football, you need an arrogance about you, all right?
Yes.
And to do what he's done at an age that he is, go to Germany, now he's gone to one of the biggest, if not the biggest club in the world, and he knows, he feels like he belongs there. That takes a certain confidence and arrogance. And I think sometimes, Neil, it can be misinterpreted by the public.
Yep.
That there's an arrogance that they don't quite understand.
No, I think it is by the public, but I think managers, you want that bit of arrogance from players like him, because if you're going to win anything, your top players have got to come forward, and he's that one that when he's on fire, he knows he can do anything he wants in that middle, and I just love that, mate. I just, you know, I watched him in that 90 minutes, and I thought he was the one that really pleased me more than, even though I'm glad that we've gone back to the wide lads. I love the wide lads. You know, Gordon, Mediocre, Saka, Rashford. In playing them four, they could win us the bloody cup if they all get the finger out.
I think as well for me, Neil, you know, in the last 6-7 months, all I've heard is, from some people in the media, idiots, I might call them, Bellingham. No, you know, look what Thomas Tuchel said. You know, he's made other players feel like they can't play, the pressure he puts on them. I'm like, if you're a senior pro and Bellingham's affecting your game, then you need...
It is the World Cup weekender. Sam Ellard and the former Liverpool and Scotland and Blackpool midfielder Charlie Adam. We're with you until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Have you got that? No, one thing that annoyed me going into the World Cup, you couldn't have a World Cup conversation without someone going to you, just doesn't feel like the World Cup's starting, does it, in a couple of days' time? And then you always feel like, okay, the fact that the World Cup's now started, the fact that nobody has said that to me in a couple of days is a massive, massive relief, Charlie.
No, absolutely, again, and that's where the build-up comes, isn't it? It's been since... March, I think Scotland qualified, and again, it's just getting that build up and the feeling for it.
That's it.
And
That's the spirit.
For us, it was all about the doubt. What was actually going to happen? How was it? Because there was some problems and everything like that. But it's just on a grand scale. Obviously, Canada, Mexico, America. And I just think it started really well. We've had lots of goals, we had good performances, some bad performances. Africa were poor.
Oh, don't play out from the back, South Africa. What do you think?
Yeah, but I get it. I think it's the midfielder's problem.
Oh, Charlie. Before they gave away that goal, they tried to play out from the back on 2 occasions. And you're the former, and I was like, it didn't look like they had the capability to play out from the back.
But again, that's understanding your players. That's understanding your players. But the thing is, it's a poor touch from midfielder. The goalkeeper says time, it's poor touch. I get some people say, the goalkeeper should deal with it. But again, if the midfielder...
He's probably been told he's got to play.
Yeah, again, but if that's the way the manager and the coach wants to play, that's the way it does. And that's what happens sometimes when you want to play it for the back. You might get caught. So, no, it was difficult for South Africa. They need to bounce back. But I think it's been a great spectacle so far. And I said it previously, I love it that the national anthems are sung round the circle.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's together. It's really good.
Good stuff. It is now time to look ahead to today's World Cup action with talkSPORT Bet.
The Playbook with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Ryan Scott Douglas joins us live from New York City. Happy days. Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
Good morning. Really good. I'm sorry it's not out and about. I'm sorry there's no Statue of Liberty behind me.
Right.
I'm just in the hotel at the moment. So that is mildly disappointing for everyone that's
I mean, you
watching
basically
on
could just
YouTube.
be in your bedroom now, couldn't you, really?
I could be lying.
Yeah.
I could be lying. This could be Birmingham. Let's be honest with you.
Yeah. How
you
is
know,
New York
but-
City treating you?
Amazing. It is. It's everything that you think it's going to be. I heard someone the other day going, "Yeah, you better keep walking." You know, so it's real.
Why did they
All
say that?
hype- because that's just the way they are.
But did you
That's
do
just the
something
way
wrong,
they
though?
are.
Like, did you get in someone's way or something?
Do you know what? It wasn't me. I was privy to it. I was just watching. I was keeping an eye on it. Just
Were you
ready to
hiding behind
jump
the
in.
tree?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you know me too well.
Was it Simon
Sam. You know
Jordan?
me well.
You
It might
better
have been.
keep walking, Simon.
I'm not going to confirm or deny that rumor, but no, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Loving your work as well, boys.
Oh, thank you.
You know, who doesn't enjoy, backside chat? I'm trying to have the top 3 backsides in betting, so I'm really enjoying that chat there.
Yeah.
I think Charlie Adams probably number 1. I think he's done himself dirty there. I think he probably beats John McGinn, but that's just my
Really?
opinion.
For size or?
just using the backside, just using the
Yeah.
backside. I don't think that many were better, but that's just my humble opinion.
Yeah, it's not all about size, Charlie. It's how you use it as well.
Yeah,
John,
well,
you use it.
and John McGinn uses it
No, he
really well, doesn't he?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, let's move on from the backside chat. Haiti, Scotland, Ryan, in the early hours of tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I know. This is a massive one. It's huge, and I'm getting everybody's opinion on this, to be honest. I've got Ali McCoy's opinion. I've got Jim White's opinion. I'm definitely going to get Charlie's in a little bit as well. But I have to tell you, right, Scotland are odds-on favourite. I know all this chat about Haiti, and they are an exciting team. I've heard this. They'll attempt the overhead kicks, and they like the acrobatics and all that jazz. But Scotland are odds-on favourites. In fact, we've super boosted them to evens. So if you go on talkSPORT Bet's app, or on site, you can get Scotland to win at evens, which is a very, very good price. But Haiti are as big as 5-1. They're as big as 5-1. And I just want to remind that. And any Scotland fans listening, just calm the nerves a little bit, because I know it's the must win. And I know it's that added pressure. And Charlie was talking about that rankings. It's a big game. But you can win this. You can win this. And the odds indicate that could be the case as well. So it's about where you get value from. You could look at score predictions. I mean, Charlie, if I had to nail you down for a score prediction for this game, where would you go? How do you think it's going to go? Are you just going to edge it maybe? Or do you think it could be quite convincing?
Well, we've scored 4 goals in the last 2 friendlies, so we're in good shape. If I was looking at this, I think I'm going to go 2-0 Scotland.
Yeah, I thought you might do that, where it's just like just nice and comfortable. I actually picked out 2-0 myself, and that's 13-2, and that's how you get creative with this, potentially going for a scoreline. But have to remind you, you are odds-on favourites, as I say. And if you're a new customer and you're not betting with talkSPORT Bet yet, I would advise you to head on over to the offers page. Check that out. You can get Scotland to beat Haiti today at 40-1. 40-1, you can get that. That's for new customers. So go to the app and redeem that one for sure. But yeah, there we go. Charlie Adam thinks 2-0, and that's 13-2. And I have to say, I agree. I think it could be nice and routine. Let's hope that is the case for Scotland.
Elsewhere, Ryan, this evening, Qatar, Switzerland, 8 o'clock start. Brazil, Morocco, and 11 o'clock start UK time. Both those games also live on talkSPORT. What prices jump out here, mate?
Yeah, nice. Well, Qatar, last tournament's hosts, weren't they? And these two teams have never played each other competitively. So if you're one of those bettors that likes to go on previous, there is none. There is no previous. So you kind of just have to go with your gut here. And the gut here is Qatar 14-1. 14-1. I mean, that is a huge price for them. Switzerland are odds on. So that indicates, especially, the traders, who they have as the favourites and how they think this game will go. Even the draw's a hefty 6-1. Ndoye to score the first goal is boosted to 6-1. I'm going to go Switzerland to win 0. It's not boosted, but it's just shy of evens. That's how you get that one. Brazil, Morocco, man, I'm looking forward to this one. That one's out here. So there'll be a bit of spice, there'll be a bit of buzz in the air, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll be in and around it. I'll be in and around it for sure, speaking to a few fans.
But no.
Maybe they'll teach me how to do a little bit of samba. I don't know. I don't know if the knees can take it anymore, but I'm looking forward to being in amongst it. I can tell you that Brazil are 13-20. They are odds-on favourites. Morocco are 9-2, and the draw's 13-5. Get creative with it. Vinny Jr. anytime 7-4. Both teams to score as well, and Brazil win. That gets you 23-4. That bet builder. That treble there's 23-4. But there's a multitude of goal scorers, and that's the exciting thing about watching Brazil play. But Brazil are odds-on favourites. favourites, and so are Switzerland.
Ryan, thank you so much. Enjoy your day in New York City. Have a good time, mate.
Cheers, boys.
That was a look at the latest odds. Thanks to talkSPORT Bet. It's 18+. GambleAware.org.
The Playbook with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com to see all our latest sign-up offers. 18+, GambleAware.org.
It was the 7th of July 2011 that Liverpool completed the signing of Charlie Adam from Blackpool. Can I just ask you about your time at Liverpool? Because it must have been an amazing moment when you found out. Do you remember the moment you found out for the first time that Liverpool wanted to sign you?
Yeah, it was sort of late November, start of December was the first sort of real time that I had an incline of when we were going to go. It was when we'd just been promoted, and obviously the January window was coming up, and that January they signed Carroll and Suarez, and
Torres left that window.
Yeah, Torres left 50 million to Chelsea. It was a massive story, wasn't it? And Andy Carroll obviously 35 million the other way.
That's when like transfer windows used to be fun. That was like all on deadline.
That was when Jim was in, when he's in
Jim on
element.
Sky, yeah,
But it was just, it was, you know, to get that opportunity to go to Liverpool was special. I had a couple of offers to go to other clubs as well.
In that January?
In that January, yeah. I had, you know, different moments. When the Liverpool thing didn't happen, I had, you know, Spurs to had the opportunity to go there. Club in Italy come on late in the day, which was for me was mind blowing. Not many people know this, but I actually had called with the AC Milan to go there in the January window. Yeah, it was surreal, really. And I at that time they had some world class players, and you know, it was just an Italian agent spoke to my agent to say, you know, what's the deal, how would it look, and it was just so difficult to make it happen. With the Oystons in charge at Blackpool at the time, it was a tough moment, and again it was something as a player I'd learned and developed. And, you know, obviously Ollie was manager at the time, and I just didn't go around it the right way as a player.
In what way?
Well, I sort of tried to kick off a little bit in
that January.
In that January,
and that was Blackpool's first. That was the first season.
That was the first season we'd gone up, and
but you had it your way. You wanted to leave that January.
Yeah, I wanted to leave because listen, it was Liverpool. You know, it was life changing. You know, financially, footballing wise, everything was going to change for me again. And why would you not? But it just become dynamically really hard. I had a clause in my contract actually that if any of the top 4 clubs in the country come in for me, then I could go for a set price.
Right.
That I'd be able to speak to them, and it was no. Liverpool were 5th at that time.
Oh, really?
So I couldn't. So
it was whoever was in the top 4 at that moment.
So at the moment,
okay, wow.
so the top 4 clubs for us would be, you know, United, Liverpool. At that time, Chelsea and Arsenal at that time. City were a little bit there, but again for me it was top 4 club. Liverpool were 5th at that time.
Liverpool couldn't activate that clause.
So couldn't activate that clause. So it become a little bit of a problematic. So then I had negotiations, spoke. Actually went to Kenny's house to speak to him about it. It was just an amazing.
What was that like?
Just amazing. The guy was he's a legend of a guy.
Has he got a nice house?
So very nice house. And a great guy. And obviously a statement come out recently about his health and, you know, wish him all the best.
Absolutely, 100%.
You know, he's a top fella, top family. You know, it was a real honour to sign for him and for Liverpool. And yeah, it was just the way I went around it. You know, I sort of started training. This was the last day of the window. We started training, and I just said to the manager at the time, I says, I'm going to see the owner in the stadium. And I just got in my car and just went straight to the stadium. Okay. And my agent was waiting there, and that was the worst thing I could have done.
Okay, fair enough. But you didn't get that move in January.
No, I didn't get that move.
Did you always kind of know and think that Liverpool were going to come back in the summer?
No, absolutely no. I think once that goes, you think, well, what's actually going to happen?
You think the moment could have gone, basically?
Maybe, yeah, because my form could have dipped. My
injury.
But ultimately, my form actually improved, and I got better as the season went on. I think I scored 13 or 14 goals actually in the Premier League for Blackpool. So it was an amazing time. And then again, the negotiations were really tough with the Oystons again. There was one day, there was an actual meeting. I knew the meeting was happening, and I still remember it now. It was at Preston Marriott, Matt Williams, Carl Oyston, Damien Kamoli, and one of the sort of people around the football club. And it was just a massive day for me in terms of, is it going to happen? And when I got the call to say that it was agreed, I was delighted.
Yeah. So it goes through. I remember on your debut, Sunderland at home, you got an assist for Luis Suarez, was it?
Yeah, free kick
whipped it in.
Yeah.
Near post Suarez header.
Yeah, it was just a brilliant, just a great great way to start. And every time walking at Anfield was special, and pulling that jersey on. Very fortunate enough to go back and sometimes commentate or play in a couple of charity matches. But yeah, a football club, for any football club to understand the dynamics and how to look after former players, right, they should take a leaf at Liverpool Football Club.
In terms of like the pressure, what was it like? Sharing the pitch with Steven Gerrard. Obviously at Blackpool, you were the main man there. You took them up and stuff. But was that one of the hardest bits? Is playing for one of the biggest football clubs in the world and dealing with that pressure?
Yeah, there was a pressure because of the players and the quality of player you were playing with, and I had that pressure since I was a young player because I'd signed for Rangers as a young kid. Sure. So I'd been there and I understood the pressures of winning every week, and that was something that was ingrained in me as a young player. So to go into Liverpool, the pressure was there, of course, but the level of player you're playing with, I just felt every time, it took me probably a few weeks to get comfortable in the surroundings. And again, like you say, whatever you say, it's a daunting task going into a dressing room of Coyte, Reina, Carragher, Bellamy, Gerrard, Suarez, Carroll.
Yeah.
There was a few younger lads at that time, Jordan Henderson.
Did he sign in the same window as you?
Same window myself. So it was me, Stuart Downing, Jordan. There was a few of us signed that sort.
Suarez and Carroll came a few months earlier.
They come before, so it got in there. And again, we pre-season trip. We went to Asia. It was just an amazing experience. We went out to the training pitch and it was like 50 or 60,000 fans there. It was just a different level, elite level, and you knew you were in a big football club. And once I got going, and it was it was a joy to step on the pitch on a weekly basis for Liverpool. And I always keep saying I'm one of the select few that got the opportunity to play, I think, over 35, 40 games for Liverpool that season, and being able to lift the trophy was really special.
Well, under Sir Kenny that year, you got to two finals, right?
Got to two finals, Carabao Cup final, lost the FA Cup final to Chelsea.
What was Sir Kenny like? Tell us about under him.
Just a real gentleman, but had an aura, and just loved being around the players. Man management was very, very good. Steve Clark was obviously was the first team coach with Kev Keane at the time. So Steve would do a lot of the coaching.
Sure.
But just the whole club was in a real good place at the time, and with people like you talk about now, we finished I think 8th or something in that season. So again, when you look at Liverpool, that's below the standards of what you expect, and you see that now why Arne Slot has probably left the football club. Obviously got Champions League, but 5th for Liverpool is probably is unacceptable. They want to be competing at the top level and top end of the Premier League, so could see why in that pressure. But it was just an amazing year there, and Liverpool bounced back.
Yeah, Charlie, good stuff. Also going to be joined by 2 o'clock by Ian Holloway. Maybe Ian can give us his thoughts on what Charlie Adam was like in that January transfer window. I hope you don't do that here in the next couple of hours if you're not happy with something, Charlie. Have a go at producer Sim or something.
You learn from your mistakes.
I'm only joking with you. Ian Holloway, the former Blackpool manager, of course. Charlie worked under for a few years. He's going to join us at 2 o'clock. But up next on talkSPORT, we are going to take a trip down memory lane with some World Cup nostalgia.
Just one quick domestic story. Being reported that Brighton have made a £30 million offer to Spurs to Luka Vuskovic, who had a brilliant season, was one of the Bundesliga standout players last year. I think the optics of this, with the ownership, everything that went on last season, would be very poor. I mean, apparently it's a £30 million offer, but I just cannot believe Spurs would sell Vuskovic. They might loan him, but they certainly won't be selling him, because there is potential, and you don't want to get too much hyperbole, but this could be a generational talent that Tottenham have got, and 30's far too cheap.
It's a big call, isn't it? If you're Tottenham, because obviously they're bringing in reinforcements of their own. I think it's going to be a really busy summer, both in terms of incomings and outgoings. But this is a genuine offer from Brighton. I've not been told if it's been accepted or rejected yet. You would imagine it probably will be turned down. Not too many teams accept the first bid that comes their way. I think the player fancies the move. He fancies going to play for Fabian Herzl, who probably thinks he'll get more game time at Brighton, more of a pathway into the first team than he would at Tottenham. But you're right. I think the Spurs fans want to see him at some point in a Tottenham shirt playing week in, week out in the Premier League. So I'm intrigued to see how they respond to this offer.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Well, look, keep wearing the hell out of that hat and enjoy the game tonight, Crookie. Thanks for joining us.
Crookie.
I will do. Cheers, guys.
Take
Keep
care.
up the good work.
It looks good.
There's Alex Crook there over in Dallas, where England will play their first game against Croatia. Luka Vuskovic, who's almost certain to start. I mean, he brings the average age of the Croatian team down by about 60 years because he's 19.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
They've got
some player. This
they
kid
shouldn't be underestimated. Croatia. They've still got some.
they've
very
got
good players.
Yeah, we need it. We need it hot, don't we? We need the roof off and no aircon
But
on.
you know, Modric. However old he is, he doesn't rely on that. He's still a great.
No, that is going to be a tough old game.
Good afternoon. It is the World Cup weekenders. Sam Ellard and Charlie Adam. We're with you until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Can't wait for Ian Holloway, a legendary manager, former manager of Blackpool, where Charlie was at for a few years. He's going to join us at 2 o'clock. Looking forward to that. But the 23rd FIFA World Cup is very much underway, so it's time to get in the mood with a little bit of this.
What a save! George Banks! Right through the wall. How about that one then? Michael Owen, he's got Scholes with him, but it's still Owen. Oh, what a goal!
We are tuned, by the way. We are going to take a trip down memory lane and reflect on some of the stars and stories that lit up the football's greatest stage on this very, very day. It was the 13th of June, 1982, that this proper legend made his World Cup debut.
But we haven't been able to control the play in midfield the way that Maradona has been able to do. And he's hurting England again here. It's a brilliant run. It's one of the World Cup's great goals. There's no doubt about that one. He left a trail of England players.
Diego Maradona made his World Cup finals debut on June 13th, 1982 in Spain as the defending champions. Argentina played the opening match of the tournament against Belgium. Despite the massive hype at the time, Maradona, 21 at the time, ended in a 1-0 defeat for Argentina. But I think it's fair to say he went all right after that. He played in 21 World Cup matches across 4 tournaments in 82, 86, 90 and 94. 8 goals, 8 assists. He captained Argentina to victory in the 1986 tournament and led them to the final in 1990. Your Diego Maradona memories, Charlie?
Well, where do you want me to start? It's obviously an English radio show, so I can only start there. A couple of goals against the English.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I don't remember those at all.
No.
I haven't heard about them before.
I do really.
To me, they don't exist in my mind.
Nah, it just, again, looking back at the highlights, you could see how special he was and a great player on bad pitches as well. One of the, there's always a debate, is it Messi, is it Maradona? And, I was obviously brought up again in that generation of Messi and, special talent Messi. Maradona was incredible as well.
Also, I should say, you say English radio station. talkSPORT's big in Scotland, by the way.
Yeah,
so a lot of people will be like, go on, Charlie, get into
we
the
have
English.
sat in London, the capital, and so it's always nice to rub it in. And I had a few comments from yesterday's comments that I made yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Well, just
Did you
Jason
upset?
Cundy and that, and Gabby, they put me on the spot, didn't they?
About what?
About England winning a World Cup.
Yeah.
And about Harry Kane having the penalty. I'd be delighted if he missed it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, fair enough. We'll be giving it the big one when Haiti go 1-0 up this evening in the late in the game. Best player you ever played with?
Steven Gerrard.
Yeah,
yeah, Steven Gerrard, Luis Suarez, top players. Career speaks for itself. But again, it's more about the player, it's the people. And yeah, they were just top people as well, and amazing players to play with.
Next up, a thunderbolt from this Ballon d'Or winner got Brazil off to a winning start in 2006.
And here comes another Brazilian move. It's Kaká! It's terrific. It's the first Brazilian goal of the 2006 FIFA World Cup finals.
Yeah, it was Kaká who made his first World Cup start on this day in 2006, scored his first and only goal of the tournament with a 25-yard strike in Brazil's 1-0 victory over Croatia. He was named man of the match on this day all the way back in 2006. And finally, one of the greatest headers in World Cup history happened on this day in 2014.
Here's an opportunity for Holland, and it's there! The flag stays down this time, and Robin van Persie with a flying header! One end of the field to the other. They could have been out of the game, but Robin van Persie, the skipper, has got Holland well and truly back into this.
Yeah, on this day, exactly 12 years ago, Van Persie scored one of the most ridiculous, iconic headers. I mean, not just in World Cup history. You have to say headers of all time. It was Netherlands-Spain, Brazil 2014 World Cup. I mean, we just saw a still image there for people watching on YouTube or the smart TV. I mean, I watched the goal back before we came to air, and it happened, obviously, 12 years ago. It still, to this day, looks absolutely ridiculous. Sort of a long diagonal ball, and he was miles out, and somehow diving header, got the power of the execution over the goalkeeper. It was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah, again, just you could always look back over the years of many special goals. And I'm just thinking of one right now about when Arthur Newman plays a pass over and Bergkamp scores in one of the, was it Euros maybe?
Yeah.
Just different, some of the goals, like you talk about Kaká, special players,
Yeah.
you know, and that Van Persie header was incredible. And let's say hopefully we see a few special goals in this World Cup.
Your favourite goal in your career?
My favourite goal, for me personally, my favourite goal, two goals that speak out for me is probably the playoff final free kick that I scored, and that halfway line goal. Well,
oh, of course, Stamford Bridge.
Yeah,
That's probably the. I was watching it thinking, what on earth are you doing shooting?
Yeah, well,
one of those ones, isn't it?
But that's just doing your homework. Again, just I understood that Courtois would like to be a little bit of a sweeper keeper at that time, and I knew how far he used to come out his line, and very lucky for me. I tried it often enough, and
in training,
yeah, and in games, but very fortunate if it come off, and it was a special moment. They were probably the two more special goals I scored.
Good work, Charlie. Yeah, those were some on this day. Some World Cup on this day is that Robin van Persie ridiculous header exactly 12 years ago against Spain for Netherlands. Kaká making his first World Cup start and scoring a brilliant goal on this day in 2006. And also Diego Maradona as well, making his World Cup finals debut on June 13th in 1982. It is the World Cup weekender. It's Sam Ellard and Charlie Adam with you until 4. Now, Charlie once described his relationship with an ex-gaffer as like being in a married couple. Well, guess what? Ian Holloway, the former Blackpool boss, he's live next on the World Cup Weekender.
What about the World Cup? Is the US of A ready for the World Cup? I went out with producer Luke and assistant producer Joe in the streets of Lower Manhattan yesterday, and we kind of gauged the feeling. You lot ready for this?
I think the country will probably be most into it right in the group stage because that's probably when we're going to do the best, unfortunately. You know, I think there are great soccer towns in America. I'm not sure New York is one of them.
Not that much this year, to be honest. With the Knicks in the finals, I think that's taken the attention of the city.
It doesn't sound like they're buying tickets, so, I mean, only so much. Yeah. I mean, they're not really buying into it. Did they not sell out the first game? Is that what I heard?
I don't follow soccer that much, so no. And then as a person that lives here, it's going to be quite disruptive for us, so, you know. But, hey, should be a good event, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it's at MetLife Stadium, so there's a lot of attraction there. You know, the Giants play there, the Jets play there, so there's going to be a lot of people flying in from overseas to check out the games for sure. Yeah.
So it's the biggest World Cup ever. Might it be the best World Cup ever?
I hope so. I mean, right now it's just Knicks, you know, but we'll get to the World Cup when we get there.
Gotta watch some. Gotta support everybody.
Okay, and the USA are in it. Obviously, they're one of the host nations.
But we ain't gonna win.
No, who'll win it?
More likely gonna be Spain.
Yeah, probably. How's Birmingham, Alabama?
Hot, mosquitoes, a lot of loud talking people.
Birmingham, Alabama. Wow, as the song goes.
That's where you can say howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all. I'll remember that next time when I'm down in that part of the world. Do you think this place is ready for it?
Yeah, I've been around to a lot of the cities now, most of them actually, and they're ready. This is a little bit different here just because the Knicks are in the final. If the Knicks weren't in the final, it would be a little bit more prepped with regard. And don't forget that it's also in New Jersey where the stadium is, not in central New York. And if you're on Manhattan, you're in another Goldfish Bowl, as Simon will know from being here. So the U.S. is ready. For the last 2 weeks, it's the first time that I've noticed.
It's not often a World Cup great is known for his time on the pitch and in the dugout. Franz Beckenbauer is one of 3 men to win the tournament, both as a player and manager, and Der Kaiser's tenure with West Germany is iconic. We all know Beckenbauer as that grizzled warrior, so seeing him here, a young, fresh-faced 21-year-old, doesn't feel right, does it? 1966 was his first World Cup, when he was already building a reputation for his strong, marauding play, playing the libero or sweeper role for Bayern Munich. He had to act as a more traditional centre-back for the national team, though. West Germany fell short, losing in the final to England, but you already know that. Despite revenge over England in the quarters 4 years later, a game in which Beckenbauer was keen to get stuck in, West Germany were knocked out by Italy in the semi-finals. At 25 years old, he had a bronze medal, a silver medal, and the gold was coming. In 1974, West Germany didn't lose a single game on their way to winning their first title. And to top it all off, it was on home soil. And this was the team they beat to it, their fierce, total footballing rivals, the Netherlands, a team fronted by Johan Cruyff. Beckenbauer shocked the world when in 1977, aged just 32, he retired from international football to go and play for the New York Cosmos. The world went mad. But when you're going to go and be teammates with this guy, I mean, yeah, fair. Beckenbauer did come back to the West Germany national team, but as a manager in 1986. His task, get through the World Cup without embarrassment. But they reached the final and only lost to Argentina and their iconic captain, who, let's be honest, at the time was unstoppable. Beckenbauer returned for one final World Cup at Italia 90, where he got his revenge. West Germany beat Argentina in the final, and Beckenbauer became, at the time, only the second man after Brazil's Mario Zagallo to win the World Cup both as player and manager. So across 5 World Cups as a player and manager, he got a bronze medal, 2 silvers, and lifted the cup twice. That smile tells you everything you need to know.
This is the World Cup weekender. We are live on talkSPORT. It's Sam Ellard and the former Scotland and Liverpool midfielder Charlie Adam with you until 4 o'clock, bringing you everything you need to know from the Football World Cup. 12 hours away from Scotland, kicking off their World Cup campaign. Shabana Hearn joining us shortly. Latest from the England camp, England legend Stuart Pearce will join us to get into the big selection decisions, facing Thomas Tuchel and Charlie Adam. Just sticking with Scotland and World Cup, some good news to bring you from the Women's T20 World Cup is that Scotland have kicked off that campaign with a win against Ireland. How about that?
Well, hopefully that's a good omen for the day.
Well, beating Ireland by 40 runs. England got their campaign off to a good start last night. The tournament being held in England. No Scotland, no party. 161 for 5 off 20 overs. Bowled Ireland out for 121. Maybe this summer it could be the Scotland double. How about that?
Well, hey, hopefully, you never know.
Do you like your cricket? I'm guessing you don't.
No, I don't. No. Cricket's not for us in Scotland.
That's Ali McCoy loves his cricket, by the way.
No, yeah, but not for me.
No. Okay, yeah, I could tell as
never
I'm
brought
telling
up with cricket.
Say again?
He's never brought up with
Never
cricket.
brought up with cricket. Okay, that is disappointing. So we'll move on very, very swiftly. I am delighted to say we're now joined by one of English football's biggest and best characters.
I am a cider drinker. I drink till I have the day.
I love the game. I can't stand the business because the business is absolute rubbish. I nearly said there, didn't I?
40 years since Blackpool were last promoted to the top flight, and they have done it again. Ian Holloway, man of the moment.
Totally outraged, absolutely disgusted in how selfish some people can be. The game belongs to supporters, not them.
Hey, you, get out of my swamp.
They've done it. Crystal Palace have landed back in the Premier League. Kevin Phillips' penalty in extra time has won it for Ian Holloway's men.
Luther Vandross, don't you dare have a go at Luther Vandross. Never too much, never too much, never too much. Ding, 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 ding.
Unbelievable.
You like that?
Be a cider drinker.
No, get out.
He made me come.
An absolute legend. I'm sure you all know who we are talking about. He won promotion to the Premier League twice with Blackpool and Palace. The latter of those clubs, still there 13 years later, and with the European trophy to their name. Still loving his work as a manager of Swindon. Summer break before embarking on another long and hard season. But of course, it was Blackpool who reached the Premier League in 2010. Ian Holloway was as the manager, Charlie is the captain. I'm delighted to say they are reunited together live on talkSPORT on the World Cup weekend. It is a very, very good afternoon to Ian Holloway. Ian, good afternoon, mate. How are you?
All right, Sam, how are you? How's Charlie behaving?
Gaffer, you okay?
How are you, son?
Very well, thank you.
Hey, you got the same hairdresser as me now.
Didn't take you long, did it, Charlie? There we go. Ian, thank you very, very much for joining us. Let's go back, shall we? Was it 15, 16 years ago? Now, of course, I think most people remember that Blackpool team that won promotion. You were the manager, Charlie was the captain. What are your memories of that promotion-winning season?
It's too many to talk about, really. Just a fantastic group of people. Everybody was on the same page. Things weren't going right for all of us, and we managed to go to Blackpool and bring everybody together, unite everybody, and the crowd loved it. They had some things to moan about, but they loved the type of football we were trying to play. And to be honest with you, free in midfield, Charlie had a free role. He could go where he wanted with a couple of other lads, David Vaughan and Keith Southern. And to be fair, they were all so fit. They all kept going. And in the end, it taught me stuff about what midfield should be, you know, and it was a joy to work with all of them. Absolutely fantastic. They still keep in touch with each other now. So for me, that's the most pleasing part of all of it.
And having Charlie as a captain?
Mate, how can you not have that wonderful left foot? You know, honestly, his right one's so bad either, to be fair. But no, he's played some of the things I saw in training. It was a joy to watch. Honestly, some of the football the lads played, and all you do is try and help them understand that they're capable of anything, but they need to be together. And you know, no matter what football we tried to play, there was always the reminder of, hang on a minute, we got to get into them, get in their faces. You know, people like Keith Southern, and mate, it was just wonderful. I got to say, it was. I still remember it as if it was yesterday, and unfortunately, it's 14, 15 years ago now.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, Charlie, the way you got up, I mean, it was obviously the playoff final, wasn't it, at Wembley? An incredible game against Cardiff, wasn't it? I mean, that game. I mean, talk about pressure. You played for a big club, but getting to that final stage this season, those big games, those big moments.
I think the easy thing for us is there was no pressure because of we were tipped to get relegated that season, and we come really late. And again, talk about leadership and how you manage a group of players. You learn that and you take that back now. And like the gaffer saying there is that sitting back now as a coach and as a manager, you're thinking, right, what was success? Because that success is something you have to take. And he's now doing that probably to a really good point last season with Swindon at the back end of the season become difficult for any reason, whatever reason that was. And again, as a manager, you're sitting now during the summer thinking, right, what went wrong? How do I rebuild and how do I regroup? But, I could talk about the gaffer and loads of amazing things because he gave me my dream. My dream was to play in the Premier League, and he gave me that opportunity to play there. But you need somebody to trust you and let you grow and develop, and he was that manager that done that. But it wasn't just about me; it was about the team and the group. And like you say, we talk about being a mixture of rejects because that's what we were. We're all pulled from pillar to post, different clubs, loaning players. Manager had a problem when he left, other clubs to come here. We all come together. But what we were on the same page, and we become a bond and become a group that, we win together, we lose together. But that run at the back end of the season was done to real top leadership in terms of what we did. And it was a real joy to play for a manager like that. And now for him to be able to get that energy and that enthusiasm to keep going, is a real special talent. And again, let's say 1,000 games now as a manager. What's next for you? What you had a good summer and what you thinking for next season for Swindon?
Mate, it's got to be promotion, Charlie. I was really disappointed that we turned things around the first season when I was there. The group got together. But we had a chance to get towards the playoffs, and we lost 3 games, particularly away to Morecambe. And this year, again, the same thing. We were in the top 6 all season, but we couldn't carry it over the line at the end. And I think it's just down to leadership and characters of the players. And really, you lot shared that. It wasn't me. It was you lot who grew into that and managed each other. And to be honest with you, what is wrong with a bonus? We had the most successful bonus scheme ever. I think you doubled your wage by the time.
Happy days, eh?
You all should have been on better money, but the club, how it was run and how it was dealt with, it wasn't just Carl Oyston. It was Matt Williams, who was a great friend of mine now and also a brilliant help, and you've worked with him before, Chaz, at Burnley. And the club was set up. I was very fortunate to walk into it, and I didn't add anybody, only a few players. I didn't add any staff. They were already there, and every one of them was absolutely fantastic. Steve Thompson and the physio, Phil, everybody. Charlie, what it is so unusual to have that togetherness, and that was cool. It was largely by how the club was run.
It looks like is that one of your new signings in the background?
It's with Chihuahua, yeah. He's,
Can he play left wing, Ian?
Play like that.
But again, like you say, we can have a full show and talk sport about Blackpool, couldn't we? The issues, the things that went on, and that was the way he could. But we just got on with it, and it was amazing. But going back to the Swindon, is that something you're looking at in your recruitment this summer? Is to get the characters of people that you can lean on and understand how you want to work and what type of person you are, because you are an emotional person, so you need people within that group to bounce off you to understand what you are as a person, as manager as well, isn't you?
Mate, that's exactly what I'm looking for. My way of, I can't change what I do, and I'm not old-fashioned. I felt I was privileged to be brought up by people who lived through a war. My dad was born in 1928, and the people I was used to, you have to earn the right. You have to earn the right to be somebody. I watched a wonderful documentary the other day about Vinnie Jones, and all he kept saying, you want to be someone, make yourself someone. And let's face it, to not only be a footballer as he was, and also go into acting with top actors, I kept on about you got to believe in yourself. If you go to Liverpool, tell Stevie G to move out the way, and I didn't mean it nasty, give me the ball, you get in the box. And really it's all about getting everybody to understand that there's no limit to what they can do, providing they do it together and providing they believe in each other. And if you think back, the most important thing I felt, we connected with the community. And that's what I want to do next year with Swindon. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a standoff with some of the fans and the owner. But for me, that shouldn't matter. What it should be is that the players go out willingly to the community and make their community understand they're going to try and play the way they would if they could wear that shirt. You know, and this is what I think football is crying out for now. And the World Cup can give it to all of us. If Scotland do well, if England do well, boy, do we not need that.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? And for me, I felt England were doing brilliantly before. I didn't think Gareth Southgate got anything wrong, in my honest opinion. If we could take better penalties, if we had more set of gonads about us, we could have been celebrating anyway. You know what I mean? It ain't him. It ain't his fault. They'd have even practiced them. Do you get what I mean? I think he did a brilliant job. And now what we got to do is hope. We got to all hope and be part of that hope to make this happen. You know? And wow, how chuffed am I for Scotland to get there within 20, and what that means to you all, Charlie. I understand that. No group of players is any good without a mad Scotsman involved somewhere. Because they want to win. Do you know what I mean? You want to win, don't you?
I think all the great teams have always had Scottish players in them. And they've always had character, and they've always had that characters. You know, your big clubs have always had the Scottish sort of feel around it, and it's something that we're really passionate about. And you just, let's say, talk about the manager there, talking about still that connection. You know, you've learned from that experience, and we'll talk about it. You know, the Blackpool supporters didn't have that connection with the Oystons. You know, they had the connection with the players and the team, and that's the most important bit. Is the team. Let's come and support the team. And the team will then develop and grow for you. And that's what he's trying to get Swindon. If he can get the supports to come and support the players, the team, the manager, we'll not be great every week. But what we'll do is we'll be in your face, we'll be hard to beat, and we'll be aggressive, and we'll make it work. But we'll give you back in the community, and we'll get the players out there to support. And that's what we did with, like, most weeks, didn't we? We were out in the community, different things,
giving stuff back,
just because the manager expected it, and that's what you expect from the players.
Ian, can I just ask you just on England and this World Cup? Obviously, you said there you thought maybe Gareth Southgate was a bit harshly treated, but what are your expectations with Thomas Tuchel as manager at England for this World Cup?
I'm pleased to say I met him this time last year at a wonderful do, where I got given my 1,000 Gink award with some other wonderful people, and I told him straight, you know. You can't lose, because if he don't do well, he goes back to Germany, they'll be happy. If he does do well for us, then we'll forgive him for being German. But, you know, look, the truth about it is I told him I like his discipline. I think the man is incredibly disciplined. I think he understands human beings. I think he's had a fantastic career, and he will carry on doing that because of the way he commits. And he makes people commit to what he wants them to do. And I think the way, after a 5-minute chat with him, I would have wanted to run through a brick wall for him, because it's all about pace and running and beating people, giving it to wide men who can take people on it. It's a little bit old-fashioned in a lot of ways, but he's right up with the present-day football. I don't particularly like watching some of these games because the centre halves have the ball too much. Charlie will tell you, for Christ's sake, give it to my forwards. And I used to let Charlie wander and go and get it and then play it to my forwards, because really, you're a defender. It's a wonderful skill, but everybody wants to see some shots at goal and efforts. They don't want to see us mucking about at the back, particularly with your goalie, with the blooming ball. What on earth? Pep, what are you doing?
It's all Pep's fault, isn't it? It's all Pep. Ian,
Absolutely.
I could imagine you. I could picture you sat on your sofa watching Mexico, South Africa, and as South Africa try and play out from the back and they get intercepted. I could almost see the rage on your face, Ian. Ian, I really could talk to you all day. Just one text coming in, no name on it. Even as an Oxford fan who hates Swindon, I can confirm Ian Holloway is an absolute legend. Ian, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll chat to you sometime soon.
Thank that person from Oxford, but I can't be seen dead over there. No problem. Charles, keep going, mate. Love you.
Gaffer,
see you, Sam. Thank
pass
you.
my best on to Kim.
I will do, mate. Top man, and you.
Speak
Look
soon.
after the family, kid. Bye.
That is Ian Holloway, absolute legend. Of course, currently at Swindon, so I'm sure he'll have a couple of weeks off, maybe a month or two off, and then he'll be back in sooner rather than later.
He'll be then chickens or building something. He'll just be on it all the time. He'll just be keeping busy. Yeah, just that's the energy that he's got and the enthusiasm. You've seen that way, the way he talks, and just a great person to be around. And hopefully he can do the job. Disappointing back into the season for them, but always great to see him back in football.
Football just needs characters, right?
Yeah, you
People
need
with
personality and that.
excitement, and
But he's and me, he's a top guy, and he allowed me to live my dream by playing in the Premier League.
Charlie, well said. It is now time, though, to ramp up the Scottish excitement. We'll be crossing to Boston very shortly to catch up with our Scotland correspondent, Shabana Hearn. But Tartan Army fans, Scotland fans, come on. You can pick up the phone right now and call us on 03717 223344. Tell me and your ex-midfielder, Charlie Adam, exactly what the game plan is for making tonight's 2 a.m. kickoff against Haiti. You powering through, going for a power nap? 03717 223344. Haiti, Scotland, 2 o'clock kickoff tomorrow morning, live on talkSPORT.
Locking on back in the UK, of course, and we're right across the lot. We mentioned earlier that Martin O'Neill has been installed at Celtic. Just in the passing, you're pleased for him. 1 year deal, Simon.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think Martin, the only person that would have talked him out of that circumstance is Martin. So I think probably Martin would do a 1 with a rolling year.
Yeah.
So that puts him in a situation where he can see how he feels in a year's time. I don't even know why it was a conversation. I don't even know why it was a debate about whether Martin O'Neill should stay in place. I think it's the least they could have offered him. I hope they've remunerated him properly, and I hope that he continues to build on his legacy, because I like him. Now, obviously, I don't know where you sat on it. I think I know where you sat on it. Nobody wanted Celtic to win besides Celtic fans, because we wanted Hearts to win.
Well, that would have been the story, yeah.
Yeah.
But the Celtic story was a great one,
but
too.
Martin did his job.
Yeah.
I mean, he did his job. He went in there and he galvanised Celtic. And so the discussion about whether Martin O'Neill should be given a new contract perplexed me. Besides the fact he kept on telling everyone how bloody knackered he was.
Actually, Brad Friedel's with us, as he will be here in New York. Brad, whatever happened to Wilfred Nancy? Do we know? He came back here with his tail between his legs, having been a major flop in his short time in charge at Celtic.
I'll tell you, it very similar. I came over here and I was the head coach of New England Revolution. I found it very difficult to go from the professionalism of the Premier League this way. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was too stubborn to stay in my own professionalism. I wouldn't adapt to where the level of MLS was.
Steve Nicol was there for a while as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was there with, and then Jay Heaps, and then myself.
And Paul Marion as well.
I think what Wilfred did, he adapted to the US culture, and he went over there. When you go to a club like Celtic, and you hear his first interview, I don't care about the results, it's how we play. No. Results matter, and the fans will actually put up with you playing poorly if you're winning the matches for a certain amount of time. So I think he found that change going to that type of club very, very difficult.
Yeah.
With Martin, I played for Martin for 2 years at Villa. He's the boss. He knows what he's doing. When I first got there, it was the first time I had met him and knew him other than playing against him. He's...
A very good afternoon. You are listening to the World Cup Weekender. We are live on talkSPORT. It's Sam Ellard and the former Scotland midfielder Charlie Adam. Now, we're just going to turn our attention away from the World Cup and go back to domestic issues here in England, because Daniel Kretinsky is set to become West Ham's biggest shareholder after agreeing a deal to buy an additional stake in the club from the Gold family. Kretinsky is set to increase his share to 43%, exceeding the current 38.8% owned by David Sullivan, who resigned as joint chairman last Saturday after being informed that historic allegations of misconduct are about to be published. Sullivan categorically denies those allegations, which were broadcast by the BBC on Monday. Football finance expert Kieran Maguire joins us live on talkSPORT. Good afternoon, Kieran. How are you?
All good, all good.
Kieran, what does this all mean then for West Ham moving forward?
I think in the short term, it will give West Ham fans a bit of comfort because Daniel Kretinsky is a very wealthy individual. He's now the dominant shareholder. He still won't have 50%, but he will have 50% in conjunction with some of the other major shareholders such as Trip Smith and Terry Brown. So I think they will work together to provide the necessary funding that West Ham require over the course of the summer. West Ham, in their most recent accounts, they owed £196 million in unpaid transfer fees, which isn't excessive by Premier League standards, but it still would have been financially very challenging for them this summer to deal with because they don't have all of the Premier League monies. So I think some of the West Ham fans were concerned that would they have to borrow? Clearly, they're going to have to sell some players, but I think this will give a degree of comfort to those fans in terms of the direction of the club going forwards.
And in terms of then the summer, obviously you mentioned there's a good chance they could raise funds by the sales of players. I mean, Mateus Fernandes has been a player that's been linked with a move away over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, they've got Jared Bowen then. But do you expect West Ham, from a financial point of view, to be in a decent position to invest in the team to win promotion back to the Premier League?
Yes, they're going to have to use the exit door as much as in terms of signings as well. There's no doubt about that. But they've got the physical cash now because Daniel Kretinsky independently is wealthy. He has indicated that he's willing to provide through his company 1890 Holdings further funds, and I think that was the major concern for West Ham fans. So that will be good. So yes, I would expect them to be competitive in the summer. Yes, they're certainly going to lose some of their better players, but that's always the case when a major club is relegated.
Kieran, Charlie, does this change in the dynamics of how West Ham are going to go forward? Will he want to take full control of the football club, or will he be happy to keep other investors in there, or does he want 100% share value, or does he want 100% of the football club himself?
I suspect, Charlie, he'll be looking for more than 50%. Because that will allow him to dictate the strategy of the club going forwards in terms of how it invests both on and off the pitch. And on the back of that, we have seen him recently move from being a minority investor in quite a few companies to taking them over. He historically had been quite shy, but he certainly has come to the fore in recent times, and there's no bigger megaphone for a rich individual than owning a football club if they want to get their message across in terms of how they want to invest and where they want to see important industries such as football going forwards.
Kieran, really appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much for that, and have a good afternoon.
Cheers, guys.
So just to confirm then, Daniel Kretinsky is set to become West Ham's biggest shareholder after agreeing a deal to buy an additional stake in the club from the Gold family. Kretinsky is set to increase his share to 43%. That's exceeding the current 38.8% owned by David Sullivan, who resigned as joint chairman last Saturday after being informed the historic allegations of misconduct are about to be published. He categorically denies those allegations, which were broadcast by the BBC on Monday. Thank you very much to Kieran Maguire for joining us on talkSPORT. This is the World Cup weekend. We're live with you until 4 p.m. Then Rory Jennings and Jason Cundy are taking over. We've still got lots of great guests to come. Siobhan Banner's going to join us around half an hour's time, live from Boston ahead of Scotland's opening game. Plus, England legend Stuart Pearce will also join us.
What is interesting there, I think, is that Bellingham is saying the group didn't connect as well as it could have done. Why is he saying that?
As a deflection. Listen, every player knows where they stand. I'm going to give a story, but I'm not going to say the name of the player because that would be wrong. But I will say it was Martin O'Neill because he won't mind me saying this. Okay. You'll get enjoyment. There was a player who came into the Aston Villa changing room, and he was like, "I need to talk to the manager." And us as players were like, "Yeah, you got to go talk to him. You got to go talk to him," because we knew kind of how it was going to go. So he bursts in there and he knocks on the door and he's all bold and brave. And then Martin O'Neill goes, "What? How can I help you?" And he goes, "I need to know where I stand." He goes, "You haven't played for me and kicked the ball for me in 3 months. You know exactly where I stand. Now turn around and get out of my office." Players know where they stand. If you're starting, you know where you stand in the manager's eyes. Yeah. If you're a substitute, you know that the manager does like you, but maybe he thinks in formation or whatever, that's something else. If you're not playing, you know also exactly where you stand.
The memo's clear. I mean, the interesting thing is that you get an insight into the psyche of a player, but the most important thing is the follow-up question to what he says. And there isn't the follow-up question. There's just a one-way transaction of we needed to feel loved, we needed to feel, in a certain way, and we didn't connect together, and perhaps we didn't celebrate wins as much as we should have done. Well, there's a real, that's the nature of the beast. That's the society that we live in. Sometimes things are taken for granted, and it's the criticism that comes more readily than the praise. But if you're a team, do you want to be in a big team that has expectations of you? Do you want to play for a big club like Real Madrid that has expectations of you? I would imagine he'd spend more time complaining about playing for Real Madrid and the expectations upon him as a Real Madrid player than he would playing for his country. Right. And the challenge to that sort of question should be, well, what is it you expect of a manager? What is it you expect of people that are supporting you? Because you are lauded and applauded and revered. Yes. I think it's to do with a lot of... you heard rumours coming out of that camp last in the Euros about who didn't want to do press conferences, who didn't want to come up for this, who didn't want to come up that. Harry Kane apparently had an issue about Jude Bellingham not doing enough public appearances and all that sort of stuff. That might be gossip. And some of that might be right. But that should not be an insulation.
World Cup weekend, Sam Ellard, Charlie Adam with you until 4 o'clock. I'm sure you don't need reminding, but we are 12 and a bit hours away from Scotland. Back at the World Cup, first time since 1998. They take on Haiti at 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. Live commentary, of course, on talkSPORT. Let's take some calls then from the Tartan Army ahead of that game, all thanks to Sky Bet.
Football form roundup on talkSPORT with Sky Bet. The world's gone football. Get in on it with Sky Bet. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Now, in yesterday's talkSPORT World Cup breakfast, Jason Cundy and Gabby Abundlahor were joined by the bar manager of Cold House Town, a renowned football pub in Edinburgh. Barman Ben, as they called him, spoke of his excitement at what promises to be a mental night in the boozer.
Yeah. I mean, most of our bookings are coming in 9 p.m. and just sitting and staying through to the end. So it's exciting. I mean, it's going to be super busy, but it's a nice change for sure.
How late can you sell alcohol for, Ben? Until
we're licensed just until the games finish. So we'll be open till the end of the Scotland game, and then yeah.
Right. Okay. What about food as well? You got to make sure that they march on their stomach. They say that about an army, right? You march on your stomach.
Yeah. So unfortunately, all our kitchen team will be away home. Some of them might be staying to watch the game, but we are doing halftime pies for everybody. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many people does the bar hold?
We'll probably be holding about 150 people. Depends on what floor. Like, we'll have a lot of standing space as well. But
right.
Yeah.
There we go. That halftime pie sounds good, doesn't it, John?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. You this evening a couple of ones, or are you just gonna
at home
cup of tea, keep it nice.
Cup of tea, get up the road, get on the couch, and
Sounds quite good, though, that pub up in Edinburgh.
No, absolutely. Yeah, but again, you've just got to adapt. And I'm glad that the country's actually made a good decision to open keep the bars open. And, I think so, right? You know, because we had the problems in the Euros and that and different things, but just keep the bars open, let everybody go, and I think then they can enjoy it and have a moment.
First World Cup 1998.
Absolutely.
You've got to do it, haven't you? Well, let's bring in then Brian, the Heartston Scotland fan, is called 03717223344. Brian, good afternoon, mate. How are you feeling, my friend?
Yeah, good afternoon, lads. Love the show. I love the Ian Holloway bit. I sat up this morning and I watched the USA game, and I was really impressed with USA. I thought it was the best team performance I've ever seen so far. They played in the front foot, and I think that's the way we've got to go about this game. It's been 28 years. You only get one chance at winning this game, and we need to play with that energy and passion the USA showed. We've got it in midfield with McTominay, McGinn, Christie, Gannon, Dope. But for me, the key is bittersweet moment, as you'll probably know, that Shanklin's gone. But I think Shanklin being there is the absolute key to us winning this game. No matter who he plays with, he'll either link the play or if he gets a chance, he will finish the chance.
Yeah, no, I think, Brian, you're spot on again. I look at where Shanklin was probably early in the season, and probably during the campaign, you thought he might have gone with an Adams or a Dykes, but what Shanklin's did for yourselves last year, I thought was top level. He comes and linked the play, very clever player, not the quickest, but I think he's clever in how he plays, and the goals he scored for Arts last year was tremendous, and big blow to lose him. For yourselves going to Rangers, but I think you were spot on in terms of how he's the sort of key one that if he gets an opportunity, the lad will score goals. So
he'll either link the play or he'll set it up, because he is clever and he's not the quickest, but he gets in the right position. And if he gets a chance, 90% of the times he will finish that chance. And that's what we need, because that's what we've missed over the years.
And putting it back onto your own club, what's your...
Oh, I knew you were going to do this, Charlie. Naughty of you. Don't lower Brian's mood on a day like today, Charlie.
No, I think... Listen, if I'm a Hearts fan right now, I'd be still happy in terms of what they've done. Disappointed, obviously, to lose the league, but it's an unbelievable season for them as a Hearts supporter. But where do you feel for next season? What's your thoughts in terms of losing Shanklin and that?
I'm obviously bitterly disappointed that Shanklin's gone, but I respect his decision with Rangers being his boyhood club. You don't get that chance again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I respect him, and I hold no grudges against him. Obviously, there's a little bit of controversy if Danny Rowe's gone, and I believe Derek McInnes is, if he's not top of the list, he's up there.
Are you worried about that, Brian?
No, I trust in Tony Bloom, to be fair. I want him to stay, obviously. I'd like him to stay. He's started the project. I'd like him to finish the project. But money talks. If Rangers come in with the big money, how can you refuse it? However, I'd like him to stay. If he doesn't stay, I trust in Tony Bloom, and I think there'll be somebody. The new signing we've got, Ayabasi, or whatever his name is, I don't really know. We've signed 2 or 3 players, Josh McPake, a couple of central defenders from lower leagues. I trust in what Tony Bloom and the Jamestown is doing. So, yeah, I'm optimistic no matter what happens.
Brian, thank you so much for joining us. Very, very briefly, 2 o'clock start tomorrow morning. How are you? Are you power napping? Are you going straight through? What's the plan?
No, I've got to go straight through. I've done it with the first game that was in the morning.
Good man.
I went to bed, set the alarm. The alarm went off at 2:45, and I just both. So last night it was right through, and at 4 o'clock I was done. But that's the only way to do it.
It's part of the fun, isn't it, for the next 6 weeks, Brian? Part of the fun.
4 weeks, it's going to do me in. 4 weeks, it's going to do me in, because I can't go to bed and wake up. It's not going to happen. I need to go through it.
Good man. Brian, you're a good man. Thanks for the call. Enjoy the game Brian. This evening. That was thanks to Sky Bet, 18+, gambleaware.org. Now, do England need to be nastier after all these past injustices?
Maradona just walked away from Huddle then. Valdano out, and Maradona! They're appealing for offside, and Maradona gives Argentina the lead. The England players protesting to the referee.
Be a red card. That's what Alan Shearer's worried about.
What, for Beckham?
Yes, because he retaliated. And
it's a yellow card. Wait a minute, he's taking another card out for Beckham. It's a red card for David Beckham. Oh no!
Incident might have passed off initially. Without a card, ends in Rooney being sent off. Echoes of Beckham in St Etienne 8 years ago.
Lampard! Brilliant! It was in now! That surely crossed the line!
Now, have England allowed themselves to be pushed over in the past? Do England need to be more housery, if you like, over the next few weeks to win the World Cup? Just heard there's some big moments in major tournaments that didn't go England's way. A Beckham red card, a Rooney red card, the Maradona hand of God, the Lampard goal that wasn't a goal against Germany. Well, joining us now, Charlie, is someone who's written about this very, very subject. Author and journalist Geraint Anderson says England must find their inner psychopath. I like that. They've got to find their inner psychopath to win this World Cup. Geraint is live on talkSPORT. Thank you very much for joining us. Just tell us a little bit more about what you've written and tell us about what the inner psychopath could look like.
Okay, so I know it sounds a bit controversial, but a lot of people the psychopaths have a lot of very good features that England could really do with borrowing. So I'm talking about like emotional detachment. That's what kind of the Germans have on the penalty spot. Whereas whenever we go up there, we look like we're about to face the firing squad. They're very good at manipulation and mind games, a bit like, Carlos Bilardo was in 86 with Argentina, doing all those tricks, everything he could. Likewise, they're incredibly self-confident and arrogant. I'd love England to make, Zlatan Ibrahimovic look like he was the kind of paragon of humility. That kind of self-confidence helps people think outside the box, helps people not go with groupthink, a bit like the Dutch were in the 70s when they invented, total football. And I think the sort of win at all costs mentality that the Italians have often shown is also something that we could learn from. Also, as you pointed out with Diego Maradona, it's really interesting because on the one hand, a psychopath wouldn't have any concern about breaking rules. And that is, what he obviously did with the hand of God. But it was the second goal in 86 that I think is fascinating because he ran through about 6 players and he later said, I would have only scored that goal against England because they are the noblest team. He meant that every other team would have just nobbled him. Kicked him over. Yeah, kicked him over. And so what I'm trying to say is that we invented fair play, but the Argentinians consider fair play like a strategic error. And I think that we've gone into this mentality and it's been not successful for 60 years. We've just been Mr. Nice Guy, fair play. And I think it's time for a new approach. And the good news is that Gary Lineker thinks Thomas Tuchel is, I believe, 60% genius, 40% psychopath. And that is the best. As soon as I heard that, I thought maybe we've got a chance this year.
Is that fair, Charlie? Do you agree with what Geraint said is part of what England need to do well over the next few weeks, become a bit more housery, if you like?
No, I think, listen, that's in there. I think if you look at the players that they've got, we all manage the game and you understand the game. I just think some things have not gone against you. That's getting a red card. That's nothing to do with bringing people down. That's just idiotic at times. The Beckham one's that was just crazy. Yeah.
So I would, sorry to interrupt, but I would say that's not psychopathic. That's actually just impulsive and reckless and emotion led.
Yeah.
What I want is actually people who have got a lack of emotion. It's very interesting. Gary Lineker was just on a podcast with Louis Theroux, and he said that he was never nervous throughout his entire football career. Likewise, he said he was emotionally cold and had very limited empathy. Those are like the 3 deciding things that dictate whether you're a psychopath or not. So I was thinking that these psychologists that work with England, they need to stop thinking about, managing stress and all that. Just ignore it. Just become like psychopaths. And if they can just bring that out, and they can do really well. And that's what, without giving a needless plug here, that's what my book is about. It's called How to Con Friends and Manipulate People. And the idea is that in this world, especially high pressure world, like I was in the city for 12 years as a broker, it was always the psychos who did best. Those guys who absolutely kept a cold head. They used mind games. They had incredible self-confidence and arrogance. And I think the same applies for football.
Geraint, thank you so much for joining us. And I think hopefully that's just going to be Thomas Tuchel's team talk for the game against Croatia next week. That is Gerard Anderson, author and journalist, joining us live on the World Cup Weekender on talkSPORT. I mean, have you ever had a coach or a former manager sort of say to you, Charlie, just be a bit more aggressive, be a little bit more nasty? Come on.
No, but that was built in me. That was me as a person.
You had that
me
already.
As a player.
You had the wonderful left foot, but you had that aggression.
Yeah, of course I want to win. And these England boys have got that.
Yeah.
You know, if it comes to it, these England boys have got that little bit of nastiness if they need to.
And you mentioned like the Beckham.
But the problem you got now is VAR.
Yeah.
So there's no real.
True. You can't get away
problem.
With
you can't get away with anything.
Yeah. If you want to try and beastline kick Maradona.
So it's different. Yeah. Back in the day, you could take Maradona above the knee, no problem. But VAR nowadays would do anything. So, no, I just think, again, it's understanding. Done the pro license and I had a sort of chat with some people coming to talk about understanding the parts of the pitch, when to make fouls and how to make fouls and what cautions would give to you. So I think there's things like that you can think about in terms of when to make fouls, where to make the fouls, what type of fouls to make. Listen, if it comes to it and you've got a difference between, somebody taking somebody out for a yellow card or red card for England to win a game, wouldn't be surprised to see it happening.
No, and you'd also hope that with a lot of this England team, not all, but the core of this team, the spine of this team, have been to 2 major finals before, have been to semi-finals before.
Yeah.
They've gone deep before and tour, and that experience, or the build-up, or playing in those big games, is only going to help them if they do go deep here in
these England boys have got a good arrogance. They've not got that arrogance where they've got good personalities.
Jude Bellingham.
Jude Bellingham.
Good arrogance.
It's a good arrogance. He's a good player.
When you're that good at football, you can be a little bit arrogant, can't you?
But arrogance to me is about when you talk about money, cars, houses, and that. The arrogance on the pitch. Bellingham's got that. Declan Rice has got that. Saka, when he's fit and available, ready to go. Harry Kane's personality and arrogance on the pitch to score goals. His thought is, I'm better than anybody else in this pitch. That's arrogance in a good way. So I don't see why England don't have that. Sometimes small moments go against you, like you say, that the Beckham thing. That's just the moment, emotion. It's how you control your emotion, because it could get too much to you. And like you say, you end up with a red card and it does a team or whatever. But no, I think this England group have got the minerals to do well.
Good. There we go. Scotland's Charlie Adams saying so nice about England. There we go. It's going to take you an hour and 40
minutes. I don't want you to win it.
But we're there, yeah. There we go. Coming up, you're going to hear from Carlo Ancelotti as Brazil prepare to face Monaco tonight. And our thanks to Brian, the Hearts fan, a moment ago as well, getting all the Scots in the World Cup spirit for tonight. That was in partnership with Sky Bet 18+. GambleAware.org.
Football Form Roundup on talkSPORT with Sky Bet. Download the Sky Bet app and get in on it with Sky Bet. 18+, GambleAware.org.
For you, Carl, obviously playing right back, you would have played against these two guys, and we don't quite know which one will start, and that's Anthony Gordon and Marcus Rashford on that left-hand side. Now, you've played against both. I'm not going to say which one's better, but what differences are there between the two, and what makes both of them as good as they are? Obviously, Rashford being at Barca, Anthony Gordon just got the move to Barcelona. What are the differences between the two?
I think that just says it there. There's not really much with one team signing them both, and wanting to take them because they fit the personality that they want to play the game at. I think, listen, they're both extremely quick players, and they both got an eye for goal as well. The main thing is that I feel that in tournaments that I've played in previously to this, there's not been many other goals than Harry Kane, and that's what we need to find. And as having one of them on the pitch, with Bakayoko or Noni on the other side, I think they need to bring some goals into it.
The fullback situation. Reece was a little bit more reserved last night than O'Reilly. O'Reilly, we know he's a midfielder that plays left back. He's an 8 that can be a 10. He's incredibly talented. I mean, you'll know all about him, right? Reece, I felt, was a little bit more structured to his game. And maybe that's because of his hamstrings. Maybe they're managing that. I know at Chelsea they've had to manage that because there is some fragility in and around there. How important is that, though, that Nico Riley does that job on that side? Because his link-up play is exceptional. He really is a major talent.
I think you can't take that away from Nico. What he's done at Manchester City and arriving in the box in areas that you don't expect a left-back to get into just shows what he does offensively. But I think Reece James played a very intelligent game last night. You know, from watching it, he managed himself really well. You don't need to peak now. Reece James needs to peak in the knockout stages. Please God, England get to that, and that's when we'll see the best from Reece James.
Did you hear about Nico O'Reilly coming through when you was at City? Because for me, it felt like he just came from nowhere and exploded. Did you hear about him? Because you always hear about whispers in the youth team about, have you seen him coming through? Did you hear much about Nico O'Reilly before he made
Yeah, of course you see him. You train with him. You train with him when the kids come up and they train with you. You know, Nico was always up there. But did I expect for him to do what he's done this season? Definitely not. I mean, he's played everywhere.
A very good afternoon. It's the World Cup Weekender. Sam Ellard and Charlie Adam with you until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Time now for the big match build-up with Village Hotels.
talkSPORT's Big Match Build-Up with Village Hotels. Watch the big games live in the pub and grill at your local Village Hotel. Find your nearest at villagehotels.com.
Yeah, let's focus on Brazil, Morocco, 11 o'clock kickoff tonight live on talkSPORT. Carlo Ancelotti has confirmed that Neymar will miss tonight's game and resume training next week. Let's see, shall we then, from the manager, Carlo Ancelotti, was asked if his side can end their 24-year World Cup trophy drought.
To win is really difficult to say. I think we can compete and we have a possibility to compete to win. Of course, yes, we can compete and we are ready to compete. So to win, we are a little detail sometimes in football, but I think the feeling today is we have a good feeling about this World Cup, not only about this first game, because it's only the first game of this competition. We work hard, ready and prepared to play.
Yeah, so Brazil won it in 1958, 62 plus 70. Two further successes in 94 and 2002 put Brazil out in front in the list of multiple World Cup winners. The past 2 decades, though, have been tough. There was no one will ever forget the 7-1 semi-final loss to Germany at their own party in 2014. They were also knocked out at the quarter-final stage in 2006, 2010, 2018 and 2022. Ancelotti has made 2 big changes since his arrival. Casemiro, previously exiled, has come back into the picture, leading the midfield, and up front Vinny Jr. been playing in more of a central position, and of course there was the inclusion of Neymar as well after an absence of almost 3 years, but he won't be involved this evening. Charlie, what are you expecting from Brazil at this World Cup?
Well, if you look at the talent they've got on show, I think Carlo's been clever bringing Neymar in. I think you better having your ally beside you. You better bringing him closer to you, because if he's not, I think he would cause problems on the outside.
Well, if he wasn't included?
Yeah. And I think
in what,
just the media, the whole thing.
People.
Yeah, I just think it's...
That's a pretty sad state of affairs.
Yeah, I just think it was close to him.
Because he might go and start...
Yeah, but again, you want everybody to be connected in the country. Everybody looks up to him. All the players look up to him. You see that he's, Vinny Jr., Acuna, people like that. They all look up to him. And I think having him in your camp gives you a great chance and opportunity, and hopefully he can get fit and show the talents that he's got, because he's still a very good player, and his career has been a good career, but I still think he probably could have and should have done better than what he was.
In what way?
I just think he just could have been at the real top level for a longer period of time, but I think he's been one of the Brazil special talents that they have, and be interesting to see how he is and how fit he is coming in. I think there was talk about some stipulations of being on social media while in camp and stuff like that. I think I was reading about that the other day, so be interesting to see how Carlo looks after him and keeps him in the camp. But really important for the players, that the younger generation, to look up to your Neymars and people like to be there.
It feels very Carlo Ancelotti just to rock up to Brazil
win.
You know, literally sit in the dugout, not move for 6 weeks, and just win Brazil in the World Cup and go, there you go, that's what I do. You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and again, Paul Clement's in beside him as well, who, English coach and experience. He's worked it with Carlo a few times now, and but Carlo Ancelotti speaks for itself. His level of winning is incredible. What he's done, Madrid, Milan, Chelsea. No, would you be surprised to see him rock up again and win the World Cup? No, but I just feel that there's better squads available to this. But I do think the heat will play a part, and let's say the South Americans might have that a little bit of advantage. But it's it's always special when you see Brazil, and they're always well supported.
And one big thing that Ancelotti has done is bring Casemiro back into the picture. He was away from the team, and he's had some turnaround, hasn't he, Casemiro?
Yeah, and I think it's still there because his performance for Manchester United has been incredible. Obviously Carrick, Michael come in and sort of changed that the last back end of the season, and he was instrumental to that. Where he goes next just depends on that. But Casemiro's been a fantastic footballer, and to bring him into that experience. But they'll need their win tonight because the Scots are coming to Miami to play them, so they might be hanging on for that last group game at the end. But, again, for us Scottish supporters, again, for instance, 98 we had Brazil, we had Morocco.
Sure.
And to play Brazil in Miami will be really special.
And I guess with the way this, obviously, this has been spoken about a lot, but I guess with the way this World Cup is this year, the 48-team tournament, I mean, it isn't guaranteed, but from a Scotland point of view, you beat Haiti and you beat Haiti comfortably, you could be in a pretty nice position to be one of the best third-place teams.
Yeah, if you ask me now, I'll take 1-0, but it's about getting 3 points and then focusing on it. We can only focus on now, and that is Haiti, and we can do the job tonight. You would expect Brazil to win the group. But again, let's say Moroccans are not going to be easy either. No. They're a good side. They got to the final of African Nations. They won it controversially in the end, but they've got some good players that can hurt you, and it'll be interesting to see how that game goes.
It was all the way back in 1986. They became the first African country to reach the knockout rounds of a World Cup, winning a group that contained England after failing to qualify for 5 of the next 8 tournaments and making 3 group stage exits. When they did get there, they made more World Cup history, didn't they, in 2022? They topped the group containing Croatia and Belgium, eliminated Spain and Portugal in the following rounds, and the fairy tale was ended in the semi-finals against France. Morocco were the first African side to go that far out of World Cup. I was lucky enough to be in Qatar for talkSPORT. And obviously you go to these tournaments and you want to see the best playing the best. You want to see the top countries playing the top countries. But I'll never forget what Morocco brought to that World Cup in terms of the fans, the following, the feel-good feeling around that World Cup. That sort of a left-field team was able to go and beat some of the big boys and, nearly go all the way.
Yeah, and that's the same. Like I said, it won't be easy for Brazil tonight. It won't, let's say, Scotland. We're not.
Brazil might come third here, Charlie. Yeah, Morocco and Scotland. I mean, they might come above Haiti, but you've got me thinking here.
We've got a chance, haven't we? Hey. But no, I just think that, like you say, you can only focus on what's now. If Scotland could get a win tonight and a draw in that game would definitely be a good one for Scotland to play against Morocco in the next game. And
I'm just imagining already John McGinn nailing Neymar after 90 seconds. I'm already imagining John McGinn a John McGinn backside into the thigh of Neymar. I don't think Neymar will ever get up. He might need to be stretchered off the pitch. He's probably been kicked a lot, Neymar, in his illustrious career, but he's probably never felt the force of a John McGinn, has he?
Absolutely not. But hopefully McGinn's doing that tonight against Ellard of Haiti and just setting the tempo. And an early goal would be brilliant for Scotland. Like I said before, we scored 4 goals in the last 2 friendlies, which were good. But we're brilliant against Bolivia for 45 minutes.
Good team.
Yeah. And hopefully we can start well tonight.
Let me dot the I's and cross the T's for everybody. This evening then, your talkSPORT menu looks like this. Qatar, Switzerland, that is an 8 o'clock kickoff live on talkSPORT. The Brazil-Morocco game is an 11 o'clock kickoff on talkSPORT in the early hours of tomorrow morning. Haiti, Scotland is a 2 o'clock start. And if you think we're done there, Charlie, obviously we are not done there, because at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, it is Australia versus Turkey. You can watch all the games live in the pub and grill at your local Village Hotel. Find your nearest at villagehotels.com. Plus, for a chance to win a Village Hotel VIP experience of the World Cup final at a Village Hotel near you, head to talksport.com/competitions.
talkSPORT Big Match Build-Up with Village Hotels. Watch the big games live in the pub and grill at your local Village Hotel. Find your nearest at villagehotels.com.
And I have a Village Hotel, by the way, 5 minutes from me, which I go to regularly in Elstree and Broadwood. I'm going to be there tomorrow for a cup of coffee with my mum. So when I say this, I genuinely mean it. Village Hotels are absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I was at one the other day getting a coffee, Starbucks, so it's we've got one close.
My
to
one's
me,
got
so-
Starbucks as well.
Perfect, yeah.
There we go. We both love the village. Happy days. It is coming up to 3 o'clock. Up next, we're going to soak up some of the atmosphere from Boston ahead of Haiti versus Scotland. Shabana Hearn is alongside an army of Scots. She's with us in a couple of minutes' time. We are live on talkSPORT.
Yeah.
First player up front I've gone for Neymar.
No, mate, honestly.
What do you mean? Don't start. I'm giving Neymar a free roll as well.
Mate, Neymar, the most overrated footballer of his generation. I'm not having it.
Conde, don't.
No, I'm not having it.
Don't,
No,
mate. I'm
not
a
having
big
it.
Neymar.
No, he
doesn't overrate.
He does. The most overrated footballer of his generation.
Oh my God.
Right.
At Barca.
No, not having him. Not having him. Not having him. One. No, not having it. Nope. So that's the music stopped.
Conde, please,
No.
mate.
No, not Neymar.
Who's a better player? Neymar or Hazard?
R9. Oh, give me Hazard every day of the week, mate.
Oh,
mate, give me. Is it? No, don't get me on the Neymar.
Okay,
train.
okay.
No.
R9's playing with him. R9's
No, take Neymar out.
But
No,
mate, come
no,
on. Neymar.
no,
Pace.
no,
Skill.
No, he's got a heart the size of a.
Yeah, but mate, he made you enjoy football watching him.
No, he made.
That's a typical centre half.
No,
that
do you
is.
know? No, give me R9. Right, I'm not having Neymar. Not at any price.
Neymar, Suarez,
No,
Messi.
no, give me Hazard. Give me anyone. You don't want Neymar in your team, mate.
What do you mean?
You don't want Neymar in your team.
What he won with Barca?
What he won?
Well, he's part of it, mate. He was outstanding. Conde, come on.
No. Here's a stat. When he left Barcelona, he never won a major honour again. And don't give me
He left Barca for the dough, didn't he? Obviously, to PSG.
Well, that goes down as a black market. In my book.
know, but
no.
Conde, we've become very close, mate.
No, I know, but we're going to fall out of a Neymar.
Yeah, it could
no,
be, mate.
No.
Please, mate.
No.
Wow.
No. No. Scrub him out.
Let's break.
Scrub.
All right. He's out. Thiago's in. Thiago, you in from Brentford? Go on, mate. You're in. Shows what you got. One season wonder. Go on.
I just can't have it, mate.
Wow.
No. Sorry, mate.
Shock me, that has.
No, the thing about Neymar is that obviously an unbelievable talent, but when you boil it down, what does he do for the team? It's no coincidence.
Get past 3, 4, 5.
And then
players.
what? And then what?
And then put it
And then
in play
what?
for someone.
Well, he didn't do it in the Champions League final against Bayern Munich, did he?
Yeah, but he did.
3 1v1s.
What did he do? What did he do for Barca?
What do you mean what he did? He had Messi with him. He had Suarez with him.
Yeah, but he done a lot, mate.
It's not often a World Cup great is known for his time on the pitch and in the dugout. Franz Beckenbauer is one of 3 men to win the tournament, both as a player and manager, and Der Kaiser's tenure with West Germany is iconic. We all know Beckenbauer as that grizzled warrior, so seeing him here, a young, fresh-faced 21-year-old, doesn't feel right, does it? 1966 was his first World Cup, when he was already building a reputation for his strong, marauding play, playing the libero or sweeper role for Bayern Munich. He had to act as a more traditional centre-back for the national team, though. West Germany fell short, losing in the final to England, but you already know that. Despite revenge over England in the quarters 4 years later, a game in which Beckenbauer was keen to get stuck in, West Germany were knocked out by Italy in the semi-finals. At 25 years old, he had a bronze medal, a silver medal, and the gold was coming. In 1974, West Germany didn't lose a single game on their way to winning their first title. And to top it all off, it was on home soil. And this was the team they beat to it, their fierce, total footballing rivals, the Netherlands, a team fronted by Johan Cruyff. Beckenbauer shocked the world when in 1977, aged just 32, he retired from international football to go and play for the New York Cosmos. The world went mad, but when you're going to go and be teammates with this guy, I mean, yeah, fair. Beckenbauer did come back to the West Germany national team, but as a manager in 1986. His task? Get through the World Cup without embarrassment. But they reached the final and only lost to Argentina and their iconic captain, who, let's be honest, at the time was unstoppable. Beckenbauer returned for one final World Cup at Italia 90, where he got his revenge. West Germany beat Argentina in the final, and Beckenbauer became, at the time, only the second man after Brazil's Mario Zagallo to win the World Cup both as player and manager. So across 5 World Cups as a player and manager, he got a bronze medal, 2 silvers, and lifted the cup twice. That smile tells you everything you need to know.
It is the World Cup weekender on talkSPORT. It's Sam Ellard and the former Scotland midfielder Charlie Adam with you through until 4. Then Jason Cundy and Jermaine Pennant take over. The wait is finally over for the Scots. They're less than 12 hours away from kick-off, their first World Cup game in a generation.
Scotland are going to the World Cup finals. Kenny McLean has launched the ball over the head of Kasper Schmeichel.
Here now, we need to focus on the here and now. We know how special this can be for us.
I think this is the best group of players we've had for a number of years.
Collins against Tapparell. Vital for Scotland. And he finds the corner.
1998, Brazil and Morocco was a group. So what's the chances of that?
To qualify for the World Cup, the first time in 27 years?
Battle away, yeah. You know, I think Steve Clarke has got a great spirit there.
Every game's big in the World Cup. Every game's big in a qualifying tournament. You have to get the points required to get you into the next stage. We haven't managed to do that.
Now the expectation will be shifted to, right, let's see what you've got now.
And I can't wait for just being able to go with your country, go with your mates, and represent your country. It's something so special. And
I feel incredibly proud to be involved and just buzzing as well. I can't wait to get going.
And Scotland are coming. The Tartan Army have received their call-up papers and they're ready to go.
The last time Scotland featured at the World Cup was in 1998 when they almost snatched a draw in the opening game against Brazil, but ultimately fell short. After 6 failed qualifications since 98, the Tartan Army missed out on experiences in Japan, South Korea, Germany, South Africa, Brazil, Russia and Qatar. But Scotland are finally dining at football's top table once more. Steve Clarke, the first man to take the country to 3 major tournaments after ending a 28-year wait for a World Cup appearance. He has very much forged the belief and togetherness that has been missing from the Tartan Army for years. I'm delighted to say that Shabana Hearn, talkSPORT Scotland correspondent, living her best life, is live in Boston for us. She joins us now live on the show. Shaban, hello. I believe you got some friends with you, have you?
Have I got some friends, guys? Good morning!
Yes,
We've just stolen these lovely lads who've been queuing for 2 hours across the road at the Dubliner out of the queue, so I'm going to have to make sure I use our contacts at talkSPORT to get them back to the front of the queue as soon as we wrap up here. Gibby, how's it going?
Amazing. It's unbelievable. The atmosphere's incredible. We're all absolutely buzzing. Been up since 7:15, excited wee schoolboys. Yeah. Can't wait.
Oh, listen, Robin, how long have you waited to get here? How excited are you that we are here and it's tonight?
Too long. It's like Christmas morning, that's the truth. We're having a ball, can't wait, and hopefully we can get it done tonight. And like you say, we've waited a long time for this, and let's enjoy it and let's get a positive result.
Tony, you came running up. talkSPORT!
Listen, I didn't think the trip could get any better, right? But I listen to talkSPORT religiously back up the road, and when I saw you, I was like, what? So I can't believe I'm on it. I love all the presenters, apart from a couple, but I won't mention names. But I listen religiously up the road.
Who's his favourite, Shaban?
Radio station, and to be on here the now is not as good as when we won 4-0 tonight, but it's no far off.
The guys back in the studio are asking who's your favourite at talkSPORT.
Oh, it's got to be Simon Jordan.
Right,
Simon.
What? Of all the Scots we've got, you've chosen Simon Jordan.
I am a Celtic supporter, so I love your good self as well. But I think but they're so good. Alan Brazil, get well soon, Alan. McCoist, listen, McCoist, brilliant. It's just a brilliant radio station. And to be honest, it's amazing. But this trip's been unbelievable. We were in New York. We've come up to Boston. Met friends that I've not seen since I taught English in China and Shanghai since 2008. Michael Nolan taking carries today from Boston. It's just amazing.
Brilliant. Guys, give us your predictions. Today against Haiti, I want to say that I've not met one person yet from the Tartan Army who thinks we're going to lose this game.
3-0.
Me too.
Comfortable. 3-0, yeah.
3-0.
I said 4-0, so 4-0 Haiti.
I'm going with my heart, and it's going to be 3-1, definitely.
3-1. I mean, let's hope it's a good start from us, a positive start, because what we've seen over the last couple of games is that positive handbrake off approach from Steve Clark, who also seems to be in a really good vibe himself.
He's buzzing, the group's buzzing. I can't see anything other than a comfortable win.
Yeah. I mean, getting out the group is like us winning the World Cup, innit?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? That Denmark game, that'll live long in the memory. I think tonight will supersede it, especially when the national anthem comes along.
Yeah.
I'm just proper excited, honestly. I'm like Big Stuart says, I'm like a school child, just ready to go.
What I love is before we came out here, actually, a couple of the presenters back home had said how the World Cup brings out the young boy in you, brings out those childhood memories. Everybody's here just having the best time. I love Americans.
Oh, they're amazing. And a wee shout out, my son's here with us, 18 months old. So hopefully it's not another 28 years till he gets to another one. But it's just amazing. It's very, 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 very special indeed. The Americans have been brilliant.
Yeah, no, they really have. Sam, I'm going to get this lot to give you a rendition of Flower of Scotland in just a minute. Don't you worry about it. I know you're excited for that.
Are you joking?
Shall we do it? You're going to sing live on the radio.
Oh, Flower of Scotland, when will we see the likes again that fought and died for every with hill and glen and stood against him. Proud Edward's army and sent him homeward to think again.
Yes, guys!
Go on, the boys! Great work.
Let's do it! Well done.
Shaban,
well
I
done.
absolutely love that. Lads, thank you very much for joining us. Just, Shaban, if I could ask you a couple of questions. You've obviously been over there now for, 4 or 5 days. You've been inside the Scotland camp. You've been speaking to the manager and players. What's the general mood and feeling like inside that Scotland camp?
Sam, it's nothing but confidence. There's respect to Haiti. I mentioned this earlier on. But if we're to get out of this group, if we're to do something that's never been done before by a Scottish football team here at a World Cup, a major tournament, is getting out the group. It feels like there's confidence in the camp. It feels like there's excitement. It feels like we've got enough players to get that job done. So I don't want any dreams to be diminished tonight against Haiti. I think it's brilliant. They're at their first World Cup since 1974. You won't underestimate any opponent at a World Cup. But I think we've got the minerals, I think we've got the squad, and I think we've got the manager, and we've more than got a fan base who can do it as well. It's our time, Sam. It's our time.
Shaban, I've got some breaking news, by the way, coming into us here at talkSPORT. Following us at 4 o'clock, Jason Cundy and Jermaine Pennant are live on the radio. I've just seen Cundy. He's wearing a Haiti shirt. I don't know if you want to tell your friends over there, you know, the big talkSPORT fans, see what he makes of it. Cundy in a Haiti shirt from 4 o'clock, Shaban.
Jason Cundy's wearing a Haiti shirt. You're an absolute. Do you know what? They still actually think Jason Cundy's one of their favourite as well. That's the Scot. Oh, it's one of the two he doesn't like.
No, bang out of order. We all love Cundy. Come on now.
Yeah, I totally agree with the lads now. Because actually, I was in here yesterday and he was actually being all right. I was actually complimenting to England and he was trying to be my mate. Now he walks in with a Haiti shirt on. No time for that. But Shaban.
Oh, he's a disgrace.
Shaban,
but listen, it's good crack, Charlie. It's all for the crack.
Absolutely. Have we got any team news? Am I hearing that Scott McKenna's struggling?
He's out, Charlie. He's not going to feature in the game tonight. He's had this niggle all week, open training. He hasn't been part of the team. He's been on his own programme, a calf niggle. So Steve Clarke does not want to rest it. He will be out tonight. But I think the news that was worrying everybody a couple of days ago, that Scott McTominay had a tummy bug, Scott McTummy ache, as he was being renamed for the laugh. But he's fine. He looks absolutely brilliant. He's in good shape. I think we'll be absolutely fine tonight. So other than that, Scott McKenna, God bless him, he'll be resting up tonight. But other than that, we're good. We've got 25 players ready to go.
Have you seen Steve Clarke wear a pair of shorts yet, Shaban, or is he just trackies all the way despite the searing heat in America?
You know what's funny is that yesterday he did have on a T-shirt and we were like, oh, hold on, Steve, are you all right? You all right, Steve? Because usually it's a full tracksuit. But what's funny is that Charlotte's hotter than Boston, and in Charlotte he had on his full tracksuit.
Yeah.
But listen, as Kenny McLean said to us the other day, I'm not going to question the manager on wearing a full tracksuit. I could never do that to him. I don't think he'd get away with it. But Steve's been in great form. It's lovely to see him smiling, and whatever happens tonight, I think Steve deserves flowers for getting us to 3 major tournaments.
Yeah,
it's absolutely sensational. We're at a World Cup, our first in 28 years. That should be celebrated in itself.
And Shaban, away from the football, what have you been up to? I know you're with Sam Stevens, one of our very best producers here at talkSPORT. Have you guys had much downtime to get out and about and do anything fun?
We've been working away. We met up with Mark McGee last night, Uncle Mark. We met with Natalie Sawyer, Joe and Izzy, and we went to the Cheesecake Factory where they do cheesecake and also food, and had a nice catch up and bite to eat with them. We went into the Dubliner last night, which is just across the road, guys. Massive queue already down the road, and the guys in there, Marty, Aidan and Oren, have been looking after us at talkSPORT, so thank you so much to them, because with this heat they're taking us in out the way and giving us some water, so that's lovely. Some water and Prosecco, but we won't be doing that until a little bit later on tonight. And the guys are all in the queue, the guys and girls all in the queue to get a wee beverage before we head out to Foxborough. That's a good hour out of town, by the way, the stadium. Who plays there? The New England Patriots, obviously, so that's about an hour out of town. So I reckon everybody's going to be on the buses or on the trains heading out there about 3 o'clock. So Boston, I think, will quieten down as everybody heads out that way.
Shaban, thank you so much for joining us on the World Cup weekend. Have the best day, have the best time, and I'm sure you'll be on talkSPORT in the next couple of hours.
Guys, can't wait. Give us a big come on, Scotland! Come on, Scotland! Come on, Scotland! Let's go, Sam. Let's go, Charlie. Let's do this.
Shaban, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. That is Shaban Ahern out there in Boston. I'm looking forward to maybe Cundy and Shaban having a little conversation later, Charlie, and possibly you're a fan of the Haiti top. What do you think is bang out of order?
No, I think he's bang out of order. But again,
he's an Englishman. You don't want England to do well. You don't want Scotland to do well. I mean, come on.
I get it.
It's a fair game, right?
No problem. But again, just thinking, watching that there, that's when it's starting to go and you get excited and you know, I think if I was there, I'd probably be quite emotional listening, because I think the national anthem tonight will be incredible.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be Scotland fans everywhere, and I think it'll be a special moment for the whole country, but the people that are there to get the opportunity to go there, the players, the staff and the supporters there, what a way it would be to cap it off with a win and go, and then look forward to the next one. But it's really point moment for the national team at the moment.
And of course, Haiti v Scotland is live on talkSPORT tonight. 2 a.m. kickoff. So if you're driving through the night, just coming in, or maybe just fancy listening in bed, whatever you want to do, talkSPORT on the radio. You can also download the free app and don't miss a moment of the World Cup. Again, I very, very much recommend the talkSPORT app. You can swipe between all of our wonderful radio stations. You can get all your podcasts as well on the free talkSPORT app. From Boston to Dallas, next we're speaking to England legend Stuart Pearce. England's opener against Croatia just 4 days away now.
I think you've got a couple of positions that Rashford, Gordon, the centre-halves, I know Pete.
Saka one on the. How fit is Saka?
Yeah, how fit is B? I think you look at it. Morgan Rogers. The big one is Morgan Rogers and Jude Bellingham. Who's going to start? Who's not going to start? Can you fit them both into?
Who's starting?
No, Benny, come on. For me, Morgan's had a fantastic couple of years at Aston Villa. A fantastic couple of years, and to see what he's done for Man City when I played with him when he was coming up through the youth team to then go and do what he's done now. It's not shocked me, but it's a great step in the right direction to where he wants to be. But I think Jude's done it for season in, season out. Obviously, he's had a little bit of an injury season, we're going to say, but Jude's quality is still there.
Let me ask you then, Charlie, because you've been an outside perspective, because all the fans, obviously English fans, are going to say, we're going to win it. And after last night, we're definitely going to win it. After what you saw last night, I know you're going to say England are one of the favourites, but can you see England winning it, or do you still think there are other nations out there that look better?
No, I do think there is other nations that have got a real good chance. I think I look at the Netherlands and I think they're probably a little bit of an outsider. But looking at the odds today, it's Brazil are probably, and Argentina, two South Americans. You'd expect a South American team to go there. I think it's a shootout for me between France and England. That's what I believe. I think that England have got a brilliant chance. Thomas has made the decision to go and leave these players, Foden, Palmer out. And he's made that decision. And I thought England were really good last night. I thought they'd go and like I say, for me, Stones plays because he can control the game for you in the heat. He's very good with the ball. Mark Gahey, very good with the ball. I just thought that partnership could really dovetail really well for England. And I think, and I've said it last Qatar tournament, I think England are really, really strong and they've got a good opportunity of winning this. As a Scotsman, would I like to see it? Absolutely not. but for my son, I say it all the time, for my son who was born in England.
It is the World Cup weekend. Sam Ellard and Charlie Adam. We are live on talkSPORT until 4 o'clock. We've just been in Boston, haven't we, Charlie? Ahead of Scotland versus Haiti. That game in the early hours of tomorrow morning on talkSPORT. And you're very much feeling it now, aren't you, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm excited now. I think that just got me going a little bit, that atmosphere in Boston. And hopefully, let's say, the boys can have a good time and get down to Foxborough and support the lads.
Win, happy days. So from Boston to Dallas, delighted to say we can now go live to Dallas, and an England legend, Stuart Pearce, is going to join us live on the World Cup weekend. Of course, part of talkSPORT's team throughout the World Cup. Stuart, thank you so much for joining us, mate. How are you?
Yeah, really well, thank you. Just got in the swing now with the games coming thick and fast, and can't wait for the Scotland game today and the Brazil-Morocco one as well. Two fantastic games.
Yeah, for sure. Just give us a little flow. Obviously, you've had a couple of games. Just give us a little flavour of what you and the talkSPORT team have been up to, Stuart, over the last couple of days.
Well, when we've got into Dallas this morning, we're off for a bit of breakfast, and we're off to when Kennedy was assassinated. Was it the book depository or whatever? We're sliding over to there. We got a game of baseball Monday.
Oh, nice.
The Holland-Japan game tomorrow, which will be a sensational game, I think. And then the Human League and Soft Cell on Tuesday are in town playing. So we're going to that as well.
Good man.
So we're cramming it in.
Bro.
How's
your baseball, Piercy? What's your strong points when it comes to baseball?
My strong points are hot dogs and nachos.
Good man. Same as me. Same as me, Piercy. Same as me.
I was always half decent at rounders at school, I got to say. Left-hander. Held it with both hands and give it everything I got.
I reckon if you're half decent at rounders, then you should be pretty good at baseball, right?
That's what I was hoping. There might be a career.
Good man. So we're only, 4 days away then from England's first game of the World Cup. Of the 11 that's going to start in a couple of days' time, Piercy, do you think Thomas Tuchel now knows what his 11 is, or is there still a couple of decisions he's got to make?
I think he does. I think the question marks that will raise eyebrows will probably, where does he go between Morgan Rogers and Bellingham? We're hearing on the ground a groundswell of opinion that Bellingham's got the nod there, and we're also, as there's suggestions that Mark Gahey might not start, which I'm astounded at, if I'm being honest with you. I think he's probably been continually this calendar year England's best central defender. So either way, I think we're going to put a really strong side out. I think we're in a good place at the moment. No injuries from the outside. So I'm really excited about it. But I've got to say, I'm so excited about Scotland's game today. I'm one of the few little Englanders that actually support Scotland.
Yeah, it's because you've been around enough of the Scots recently. That's why McKinley and the manager and Alan. That's why you'll be shouting for the Scots.
Oh, they've converted me, mate. They've converted me. I popped in to see Moisey, actually. He was out here with Pammy's wife, so myself and Carol popped in, had a bit of dinner with him about six nights ago. So when we were down in Florida, fantastic to see him.
Cundy's got a Haiti shirt on, Piercy.
Who has?
Cundy.
No.
I'm told he has anyway, yeah.
No, he has.
Yeah.
Seen it.
I heard they're selling well in East London. Is that right?
yeah, Cundy's bought loads of them. If you'd have said to me, Stuart, like a month or even a couple of weeks ago, like, who are the locks for the England team? You know, Pickford, Rice, Kane. I also would have had Mark Gahey in that category. He's kind of been one of the mainstays in the team over the last, couple of years. Why do you think that he's going to miss out and it is going to be Konsa and Stones if reports are to be true, Stuart?
You know what? I couldn't give you an honest footballing reason. I really can't. I think he's done okay in the bits of games that I've seen so far out here in Florida. And I've seen with what I've eyes, both for club and country this year, he's been outstanding. So I'll be really amazed. He'll be disappointed if he's not in the starting lineup, but I think he'll force his way back in one way or the other. But listen, the good thing is for England, we've got some potential either-or decisions to make and a really strong squad of players.
Yeah, I think, Stuart, again, going back to that friendly against Costa Rica, I thought that the English performance was good. I thought it was a good finishing way to start the preparation for the World Cup. I look at Rashford. Is it Rashford on that left-hand side, or are you going to go with Anthony Gordon again?
I would probably just edge on Rashford, if I'm being honest with you, but we've had the conversation that maybe Marcus is a better sort of player to come off the bench, slightly better than Gordon maybe, so that might, in a bizarre way, just give him, edges himself out, the fact that he might be a better impact sub potentially. But I think, this team's going to evolve over the tournament, no doubt about that, as all teams in the tournament do, and as I say, the good thing is we got good options, especially in the attacking area. Eza can come off the bench and have impact as well. So we got some really good options.
And you mentioned that you're hearing that you think it's going to be Jude Bellingham who's going to get that number 10 spot ahead of Morgan Rogers. Would that be the right decision for you, Piercy?
No, I would have probably edged on, and I've got my sort of manager's hat on here. Sometimes the players that have done well for you over a period of time to get you to these major tournaments, and I think Morgan Rogers is in that category. I would have probably showed loyalty, but you've obviously got to do your homework with Jude and say, look, you've got to fight for your place and you're going to feature sometime in this tournament. There's no doubt about that. But at the moment, I'm just erring on Morgan Rogers, But the beauty for England, they've got two outstanding players in that number 10 situation.
How do you see that, Charlie, as a former midfielder yourself? I mean, Morgan Rogers, a key part in qualification, had such a good first half of the season at Aston Villa. Do you maybe think Rogers, club form-wise, maybe lost form with the wrun time back end of the season?
No, I thought he played well. He just won a European Cup, so I think his form's good. I think Jude Bellingham's a generational talent. The personality, I think a manager of Thomas Tuchel can pull them together and get them to understand where the team needs to look. And there is moments where Bellingham can be, sometimes goes off and puts his hands in the air and stuff like that. But I think Tuchel can control him a little bit better than that. But no, I just think whoever England play, they've got top players around the squad that are very available to play. And you see that with the array of talent that's been left at home. But I just feel that England are coming in this with a real good connection, good team spirit. And people like Jordan Henderson are going to be massive to going forward.
I think as well, probably the fact that Anderson's done so well, and obviously Declan Rice is Declan Rice, is probably put a little bit of pressure on that number 10 slot. But I think in certain games there might be room for Morgan Rogers and Jude Bellingham. We always talk about either or at the moment, But I think in games going forward, there might be a place for both of them playing sort of joint number 10s.
Stuart, you mentioned Elliot Anderson. Manchester City, according to reports, have had a £121 million bid knocked back for Elliot Anderson. talkSPORT understands it would likely take a British transfer record deal to sign him from Forest. That's currently the £125 million Liverpool paid for Alexander Isak. Obviously, you've got your Nottingham Forest connections. We know that. Big. I mean, he's a top player, Elliot Anderson. But it looks like it's going to take big money to get him out of Nottingham Forest.
Well, I think if Forest can get circa and the money you're talking about, I would bite their hand off. I really would. I think Elliot Anderson's an outstanding player with a lot of progression in front of him. Make no mistake about that. But I think at those figures, normally when you're paying that sort of money, you're talking about a player that probably is going to get you 20-odd goals a season. I think that's good finance for Forest to have, especially I think they're looking to rebuild the main stand as well next year, so that money will be valuable for that.
And he seems like a pretty laid-back type of guy, Elliot Anderson, sure. But as a player playing in a tournament like this with that sort of going on in the background, is that sort of hard to kind of put to one side, or do you think that when you're playing in the World Cup for your country, only one thing's on your mind?
Well, put it this way, if he does well at this tournament, his value goes through the roof again, and maybe there'll be more suitors out there from further afield around Europe, potentially. But listen, you get the impression he's pretty level-headed. I remember going to tournaments when sort of I think it was 2011 with the 21s when Phil Jones was about to move to Man United and Jordan Henderson was going to Liverpool. So I remember both of those flew home from our tournament, and I was pleased they got their contracts done and sorted so they knew their futures before the tournament actually started. Yeah. And I think this day and age, with so many advisors and that type of thing, and medicals can be done from afar, if you like. So I think if the deal is done during the tournament, it won't be too much of a discouragement.
Stuart, thank you for joining us. Enjoy baseball on Monday. I want to see videos all over the talkSPORT social media channels, please.
I'll get the boys onto it. All right, I'm obviously not adept at socials, but I'll get the more intelligent younger ones on it.
You managed to join us on Zoom, Piercy, which is pretty good.
I think you'll find Mrs. Pearce is sat there.
Oh, Mrs. Pearce.
Yeah, Carol's done that for you.
Mrs.
Yes,
Pearce.
thank you very much, Charlie. You're aware of my work.
Stuart, enjoy your day, mate. We'll chat to you soon.
Take care. Good to chat.
That's the England legend, Stuart Pearce, of course, part of talkSPORT's commentary team over in America. Coming up, we're going to turn our attention to Switzerland. Their former defender, Ramon Vega, is going to join us. And Jason Cundy is going to be explaining to Charlie why he's come to work in a Haiti shirt. This is why talkSPORT is just the best radio station on the planet.
I think when you look at Bellingham, especially like the last game, he started the game and within the first 10 seconds, he had pressed the ball and he went out for a throw-in, and that sets a tempo, doesn't it? But something about him, Neil, I'm with you. It's like he knows that this country should be winning World Cups, and he's got that bite about him when I watch him play.
It's just the arrogance. I love the arrogance. I must tell you, when he was at Birmingham, I remember playing against him. I think he was 16 years. I had a good, tough lad in midfield, and I said, "Listen, you're playing against a kid tonight. Just sort him out. You normal thing. Get stuck in, and he'll not want to know." And he actually ran the game, and I was watching him. I was thinking, bloody, I've never seen anybody like this at that age. He's amazing. He was.
You need the character. See, people sometimes in football, you need an arrogance about you. All right, yes. And to do what he's done at an age that he is, go to Germany. Now he's gone to one of the biggest, if not the biggest, club in the world, and he knows he feels like he belongs there. That takes a certain confidence and arrogance. And I think sometimes, Neil, it can be misinterpreted by the public. That there's an arrogance.
It is. Yeah.
They don't quite understand.
No, I think it is by the public, but I think managers, you want that bit of arrogance from players like him, because if you're going to win anything, your top players have got to come forward, and he's that one that when he's on fire, he knows he can do anything he wants in that middle, and I just love that, mate. I just, I watched him in that 90 minutes, and I thought he was the one that really pleased me more than, even though I'm glad that we've gone back to the wide lads. I love the wide lads. Gordon, Mediocre, Saka, Rashford. In playing them four, they could win us the bloody cup if they all get the finger out.
I think as well for me, Neil, in the last 6-7 months, all I've heard is, from some people in the media, idiots, I might call them, Bellingham. No, look...
I mean, who needs Flower of Scotland when you've got this right? The World Cup weekender, it's Sam Ellard and Charlie Adam with you until 4 o'clock. Following us at 4 o'clock is Jason Cundy and Jermaine Pennant. And Jason Cundy is in the studio. There's no PSG shirt this time, not needed. We have got the Haiti shirt on Jason Cundy, and we've also got the Haiti national anthem. No. This is an emotional time, isn't it, Jason Cundy?
Good afternoon.
Hi, mate. How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. So there's a bag outside of all the shirts in the World Cup. And what I decided to do is every time I come in, I'm going to put my bag in, close my eye, pull out a shirt, and whatever shirt I put in, could have been Argentina, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, Belgium.
Good team.
Could have been Scotland. And I had no idea.
No, of course.
And I've just seen Charlie. Charlie's coming in. Charlie's giving me evils.
No.
And it happened to be the Haiti shirt.
Now, 1 in 48 chance, right?
How unlucky am I?
Yeah, well, 1 in 48.
No, seriously, how unlucky is that?
I thought this was a good radio station. I thought, we respect. To be fair, I think this is probably the most we've ever spoke about Scotland on this radio show.
Yeah,
on this radio talk sport, and then for him to produce that.
Yeah.
No, do you know what? You surely got to feel a bit sorry for me. Do you know, I know Scotland were playing Haiti, and then someone in the office has said Charlie's not happy with you. I'm like, what do you mean?
He's fuming with you.
No. But he said the Haiti are playing Scotland, and I'm like, do you know what? That sums up my luck. That.
Yeah.
How unlucky?
Yeah.
Have I been?
Do you think you'll be as unlucky next time and get Morocco? It could happen, mate, couldn't it? It could happen. Then Brazil. It could happen.
Brazil's still in then Morocco. I mean, you never know.
It's now only a 1 in 47 chance of getting it as well.
Right. So I think there needs to be a little bit of sympathy for me. I had no idea.
Oh, mate, I'm with you, Jace.
Right. And it's just pure bad luck.
You're not getting any sympathy.
Pure bad luck that I pulled out a Haiti shirt. Well, I mean, it could have been anyone.
It could have been.
It could have been Argentina.
It could have been Scotland, mate.
There you go. Now you're starting to make sense of the situation I'm in. Could have been Croatia.
Would you have done Croatia?
Right, that was the deal I made with management. Right. I just put my hand in. It's like one of those little
Which manager?
Happy mix.
He only goes to the top bosses.
Emily.
Right,
no, and you just...
Yeah.
Actually, it's quite nice.
No, I think it's a nice colour, mate, isn't it?
It suits me. Yeah, it's Chelsea blue.
Yeah, well, there we go. It's even perfect.
By the way, that looks like a Chelsea kit you might have played in, no?
That long ago.
Back in the day, that long ago.
It's a Haiti for Haiti watch, apparently. And that's not my line.
Who came up with that?
That's not my line.
No, who came
I can't remember.
That's a good line.
I can't remember. It's a Haiti watch.
That's solid. Do you want Scotland to win tonight?
It's not tonight, is it?
Sorry. Well, technically.
Stop stuttering. Just come out of it.
No, he's got it wrong.
Sorry.
Because it's tomorrow morning.
No, he's right.
I'm just correcting him.
Right. Bad presenting.
That's good presenting, that.
Right? Just want to make sure. I want to make sure you get your facts right.
I'll ask you that one more time then.
Okay, go on.
Do you want Scotland to win tomorrow in the very early hours of the morning, live on talkSPORT? 2 a.m. start Sunday morning, technically. Oh.
I mean...
This is not great radio, is it?
No, it's not.
No.
I mean, do I want them to win?
Yes.
Yeah, do you know what? Right, yeah. So
You do?
Here's what I want. I want Scotland to get the knockout round, right? And then they get kicked out.
Yeah, but by the way, you're not Steve Clarke's mate.
You makes of course the Chelsea connection.
Right? Yeah. No, but see, Charlie, you're getting it all wrong, matey. This is pure bad luck on my part, pure coincidence.
148 chance, Charlie.
Right?
Yeah, Steve Clarke would be sat in Boston right now, preparing for the
Clarkey
game.
knows
talkSPORT on, listening. His mate, Jason Cundy, put a hatey strip.
Chaz, I've done 2 shows with the last 2 days, right? And I consider us, I think we're friends, right? I think we're friends, right?
Good connection.
Yeah. It's just pure bad luck. Now, you can believe that. I don't care. It's up to you.
I believe you, Jason. I believe you, mate.
I think there's a...
It could have been 80.
I think I need a bit of sympathy here.
What are your thoughts on 180?
Time, Jason Cundy.
Myself and Jam are doing a show at in about 20 minutes' time.
Yeah.
What was the question?
No. The question was, what's coming up on your show? World Cup Game Day exclusive.
Talking about Scotland.
Yeah.
And their opponents.
Okay. Jason, thank you very, very much. Jason Cundy and Jermaine Pennant from 4 o'clock. It could have been anyone, Charlie. 148 chance of picking out Haiti, and it just so happened to be Haiti.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, moving our attention to another game this evening. It's pretty standard stuff to see Switzerland at World Cups these days. Their last appearance in America in 1994 was their first qualification in 28 years. But now this is their 6th tournament in a row. The only other European teams with that sort of consistency: Germany, England, France, Spain, and Portugal. The Swiss, though, have never won a World Cup knockout game, getting out of the groups in their past 3 appearances, but no further. And they kick off their World Cup campaign in a couple of hours' time. Qatar versus Switzerland at the 2026 World Cup is live on talkSPORT at 8 o'clock. Delighted to say they're joining us now live on talkSPORT. Is a man who's played for Switzerland, the former Switzerland defender, Ramon Vega. Good afternoon, Ramon. How are you?
Good afternoon, guys. How are you?
We're good, thank you.
You look like you're in Dubai.
Yes.
Is it nice?
That's beautiful, isn't it?
What can I say? Listen, guys, let me just say, first of all, about saying we are proud of the generation of the Swiss team where we are today in terms of superb qualifier, as you say, before over 5 tournaments in a row. 94 was the qualification at that time in the 90s. We qualified the first time to the US World Cup. I would say a completely different World Cup than what we're talking about here, and an absolutely shamble what we're talking now in this time. The organisation, the deluded presidential side point of view himself. Just to let you know, the president of today at that time, he was in university, actually was a fan of mine at that time, you know. So just to give you a context, who is this guy, this egocentric, me kind of diluting the game as we speak, you know. If you're talking about the changes he's done already, you know, from 32 to 48 games, you know, he's completely lost touch of the game. He's just commercial driven. He's diluting the game. We're already seeing the chaotic start with the referees not coming into the country, where it should be FIFA's responsibility. Again, at the press conference, he's avoiding the question by 2 British journalists as such. But he is responsible to FIFA that anybody comes to the World Cup is welcome. This is part of football. This is not a political kind of a decision-making scenario. And this is something needs to be looked at. Nobody talks about that, but it should be, because we are talking about a game we all together enjoy and want to enjoy. But certain things like that, the world is not part, sadly.
Ramon, I promise you, talkSPORT are over in America. talkSPORT will keep on asking the big questions. We've got Ben Jacobs there, Alex Crook there, and any given opportunity, we will tackle those big questions that you have mentioned. Ramon, in terms of the football, what is the mood like around Switzerland? Again, great consistency of getting to World Cups, even getting out of the group stages. What is the hope and what are the possibilities this year for Switzerland, mate?
Well, I think we have a squad. This is one of the most experienced so far in big tournaments. If you look at the tournament, the players is there. Obviously, starting with the captain Saka himself, a brilliant player, brilliant leader. You know, we look at that Sunderland, what he's done there with Sunderland. You know, he's an enormous leader, one of the most essential kind of player, key player within the squad. But the squad himself, if you look at it, how many games they played in all these 4 to 5 tournaments, it's definitely one of the most experienced, I would say, team within these 48 teams. So I see a very, very, very good chance that this time now, with good luck, as you say, tournament, you know, once you go to the group stage, I think it's a good luck as well. But with experience, it makes a big difference. I think these guys, this might be a big surprise, this tournament.
Yeah, of course. Fair enough, Ramon. Yeah, you mentioned there it's an experienced team. I mean, Granit Xhaka, what a season he had for Sunderland. In terms of going, why do you maybe think in the years gone by? I mentioned there at the top that Switzerland been pretty good at getting out of the groups, but have never won a World Cup knockout game. Why do you maybe think it's been a Switzerland team in years gone by that just haven't been able to get to that next step?
I think it's a kind of, as I say, it's certain. If you look at it now, what the scores have done, they won against the World Cup winners: Spain in 2010, South Africa, France as well, in Russia. So they're always pretty much the contender to win the World Cup as such. They actually done a very good performance with the big teams. So only one question is, when they're playing against the potentially not the contender, the slow one, their mentality is not there in terms to win it. But now with this experience they had already in the past from the tournament, these games, hopefully with Murat Yakin, my ex-teammate at the Swiss, is a coach now, he's putting them the really strong mentality to go all the way. Even we are a small nation, but football today is so close, you can beat pretty much everybody.
And Ramon, I've got to ask you, I know you're absolutely buzzing for the game this evening, but of course you've got Tottenham connections. You had a few years at Spurs in the late 90s. Relief last year, staying up, but are you confident, hopeful the future's bright under Roberto De Zerbi?
We have 20 years we're talking about that. Every year it's the same thing. If the next season is great, of course I'm delighted they stay up in the Premier League. Who not? They deserve to be in the Premier League as such, a club like that. But obviously the management and the ownership doesn't look like that. And this is what I'm questioning all the time. And as long as this ownership / management team actually running it so badly, I don't see the future at this club going too bright as such. Of course, Roberto is good, added a manager into it. But again, if he doesn't have the support like the other managers had the last 10, 15 years, then you forget it. The best manager can go there and nothing's going to happen.
Ramon, thank you very much for joining us live on talkSPORT and enjoy the game this evening.
Thanks, you guys.
That Qatar-Switzerland game starts us off this evening. It is an 8 o'clock kickoff on talkSPORT. Then at 11, Brazil, Morocco. I was about to say Mexico then, but it's Morocco. And then as Jason Cundy rightly says, Scotland aren't playing tonight. They're playing in the early hours of tomorrow morning, a 2 o'clock start, Haiti versus Scotland. And we have one more game for you tomorrow morning, Australia v Turkey. That is a 5 o'clock kickoff. This is the World Cup Weekender.
Just one quick domestic story. Being reported that Brighton have made a £30 million offer to Spurs to Luka Vuskovic, who had a brilliant season, was one of the Bundesliga standout players last year. I think the optics of this, with the ownership, everything that went on last season, would be very poor. I mean, apparently it's a £30 million offer, but I just cannot believe Spurs would sell Vuskovic. They might loan him, but they certainly won't be selling him, because there is potential, and you don't want to get too much hyperbole, but this could be a generational talent that Tottenham have got, and 30's far too cheap.
It's a big call, isn't it? If you're Tottenham, because obviously they're bringing in reinforcements of their own. I think it's going to be a really busy summer, both in terms of incomings and outgoings. But this is a genuine offer from Brighton. I've not been told if it's been accepted or rejected yet. You would imagine it probably will be turned down. Not too many teams accept the first bid that comes their way. I think the player fancies the move. He fancies going to play for Fabian Herzl, who probably thinks he'll get more game time at Brighton, more of a pathway into the first team than he would at Tottenham. But you're right. I think the Spurs fans want to see him at some point in a Tottenham shirt playing week in, week out in the Premier League. So I'm intrigued to see how they respond to this offer.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Well, look, keep wearing the hell out of that hat and enjoy the game tonight, Crookie. Thanks for joining us. Crookie.
I will do. Cheers, guys.
Take
Keep
care.
up the good work.
It looks good.
There's Alex Crook there over in Dallas, where England will play their first game against Croatia. Luka Vuskovic, who's almost certain to start. I mean, he brings the average age of the Croatian team down by about 60 years because he's 19.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
They've got
some player. This
they
kid
shouldn't be underestimated. Croatia. They've still got some.
they've
very
got
good players.
Yeah, we need it. We need it hot, don't we? We need the roof off and no aircon
But
on.
you know, Modric. However old he is, he doesn't rely on that. He's still a great.
No, they're that is going to be a tough old game.
Yeah, it's the World Cup weekend. Sam Ellard, Charlie Adam with you until 4 o'clock. Then it's Jason Cundy and Jermaine Penny. Just want to step away for a second, Charlie, from international football and talk about domestic football up in Scotland. There's some reports. The Rangers are likely to move for the Hearts manager Derek McInnes if Danny Roll completes a move to RB Salzburg. The Yarbrough club in Salzburg are in talks over a deal for Roll, who was appointed by Rangers last October. The 37-year-old began his coaching career elsewhere in the RB stable. There is a rising sense in Glasgow he will accept the offer that comes in for him, possibly being done in the next couple of days. Rangers then expected to turn to McGuinness, the former Rangers player, guided Hearts to second place in the SPL last season. What do you make of that story? Possibly Roll leaving and then McGuinness making that move from Hearts to Rangers?
I'm not surprised Danny Roll possibly could leave. I think at the back end of the season, how they finished it when they went to the split, they were poor performances. That cost them the league in terms of being there in the last few days. The James Tavernier thing, I don't think went down too well either.
What was that for those who don't know?
Yeah, he had a bit of a disagreement that he wasn't going to play in the last game, and then stories come out that Tavernier, was injured and different things and never picked him, and Tavernier walked away. So yeah, real disappointment in terms of for Rangers. Russell Martin never worked. They brought Danny Roll in, got to a point, done really well for a point, and then that after that split, they just never performed. And now Derek has been linked with a job for a number of times now, and this might be his opportunity. But I think Rangers will be looking all around the world again. It's an elite level club. It's we've got two fantastic clubs at the top of it, Celtic and Rangers. Celtic have also made the decision to go with Martin again, and Rangers again. Would have to now make another managerial change, which will be a huge blow to what the 49ers are trying to do. And Derek will definitely come into the reckoning. And I think
how highly do you rate him as a coach?
Yeah, I think he's done a brilliant job. I think he's done an excellent job at Aberdeen. He's done a difficult job at Bristol City when he went there. But Kilmarnock, Aberdeen's done really well, and then going to Hearts is probably elevated him again to getting that Rangers job now. So interesting to see what developments happen the next sort of 48, 72 hours. Stephen's obviously linked with it again as well, and somebody that I thought was done a brilliant job before. But there'll be a lot of names branded around for this Ranger manager's job, because it's a special football club that needs a special manager to understand the supporters, the standards, what it means to be a Rangers manager and a Rangers player, and you need an elite level manager to stand there and be the leader of that.
On Steven Gerrard, do you think that would be a good move for both parties? Do you think it'd be good for Rangers? And for Steven, who's been out now for a couple of years.
Yeah,
do you think it'd be good for Steven to go back to Rangers?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Steven's had time to reflect on everything that he's done and where he's been, coming back out of Saudi, taking his time. He enjoys the media. He does a few days for the broadcasts. But Steven will need to get the right team around him to go and support him to go again. Obviously, Michael Beale has been in with him, but has now gone to Belgium. So it'll be interesting to see what type of team he'd bring. But I think there's only 2 or 3 that's been mentioned for it. It's Derek, it's Steven, and whoever gets that job, it's a very fortunate place, because like I said before, it's a special football club, but it needs somebody with high standards, with the understanding of Scottish football, but also an understanding of leading a massive football club.
Be brutal, wouldn't it, for Hearts, though? Obviously, you had the heartache of, they did so well last season, became so close yet so far, losing out on that final day. And then you get to the end of the season and you go, all right, one of the other two big boys is going to come and take your manager.
Take your best.
And you send it forward as well, right?
And your captain.
I forgot about that, yeah.
But you got to remember, these two clubs have dominated for so long. They're the two top clubs in the country. And when Rangers and Celtic come calling, it's very difficult to turn it down. Derek McInnes he played for Rangers. He was a Rangers supporter as a boy. Still affiliation there now. But it's interesting to see that Andrew Kavanagh's over in the States. Derek McInnes is over in the States. I'm putting two together. I've seen they were a thing, separate. But just reading reports now that Andrew McKinley was also as well in the Scotland party yesterday as well that they put on, and so things will develop over the next couple of days. But whoever it needs to be, it has to be a real leader that understands what that football club is.
If anything happens, talkSPORT will keep you all across. So let's just finish going back to the World Cup. Might the USA maybe be better than we expect? Balogun looking like a world beat. He's got a couple of great goals in there in the early hours of the morning, kicking off their campaign with a victory. And their manager, Mauricio Pochettino, he was on top form when speaking post-match to our good friends at DAZN.
The first 45 minutes, I think, were amazing. I think difficult to find a team to play like this, no? But yes, so happy and so proud.
I do have to ask you about Christian Pulisic. What is his status? What's he dealing with?
Yeah, he received the -2, a kick in his calf. And on the end of the first half, he started to feel tight. And we didn't want to take any risk. And it was difficult for him to walk. But hope that is not a big issue and can be ready for the next one.
Last thing, the fan support today.
Amazing. That is what we're waiting. That is when you talk about America, that passion, that feeling. Today they were amazing. And now they realize that soccer here in America is massive, is big. And be careful, the another sport.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Fair play. A nice interview there. He's got a big smile on his face, and you're impressed, weren't you, with the USA?
Yeah, I think Pochettino's an elite level coach. Again, to get him to go to the States for the World Cup, he said that the Americans can win it. I don't think they can, but that's a brilliant result to start it all in it. But if you look at some of the players they've got, they've got very, very good players, and what we do need is a home nation going far into the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, Mexico started off brilliant. Of course, there's a possibility that Mexico
and a good draw for Canada as well.
Play. Yeah. 1-1 wasn't it against Bosnia. Mexico could possibly face England in the last 16 at the Asheka, which is I think goes under the tough place to go and get a result category.
Exactly.
If you want to use the cliche. Charlie, been a pleasure over the last couple of hours being with you. Train back up north, and then of course the big game in the early hours of the morning.
Yeah, train home, cup of tea, bed. And watch the game.
Do you reckon you'll be able to do that?
Yeah, we'll be able to.
Do you reckon you better do that? Yeah. I reckon it's one of those you're going to get into bed and then be like, because your brain knows you need to sleep for a few hours.
I can sleep anywhere, Sam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even on the train, maybe?
Yeah,
maybe?
no, not the train. I'll do a bit of work in that, but I'll be all right.
What work have you got?
Just a bit of coaching stuff and, looking forward to next season and preparing that and looking back and stuff. So, yeah.
Did you get a break in the
Yeah, well, I'm on a break at the moment. Yeah, we start back on the 26th of June, so we've had a month, which has been good, and looking forward to it. Club now looking for a new manager, and it's interesting to see who they come in and who brings in, because I say it's an opportunity to learn and grow with somebody else now.
Charlie, enjoy the game tomorrow morning. Been a pleasure being with you over the last couple of hours. Coming up next, it is World Cup Game Day Live with Haiti's biggest fan, Jason Cundy. And I promise you, it was a 1 in 48 chance that Jason Cundy is wearing a Haiti shirt. It could have been anyone. It could have been Scotland. It could have been England. It's Haiti. Scotland fans, leave the man alone. Cundy and Jermaine Pennant are next on talkSPORT.
What about the World Cup? Is the US of A ready for the World Cup? I went out with producer Luke and assistant producer Joe in the streets of Lower Manhattan yesterday, and we kind of gauged the feeling. You lot ready for this?
I think the country will probably be most into it right in the group stage because that's probably when we're going to do the best, unfortunately. You know, I think there are great soccer towns in America. I'm not sure New York is one of them.
Not that much this year, to be honest. With the Knicks in the finals, I think that's taken the attention of the city.
It doesn't sound like they're buying tickets, so, I mean, only so much. Yeah. I mean, they're not really buying into it. Did they not sell out the first game? Is that what I heard?
I don't follow soccer that much, so no. And then as a person that lives here, it's going to be quite disruptive for us. So, you know, but hey, should be a good event, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it's at MetLife Stadium, so there's a lot of attraction there. You know, the Giants play there, the Jets play there, so there's going to be a lot of people flying in from overseas to check out the games for sure. Yeah.
So it's the biggest World Cup ever. Might it be the best World Cup ever?
I hope so.